The night was quiet, the air was soft, and in the distance a story waited to be told. Long ago, the ancient Greeks spoke of a hidden world. It was a place beneath the earth, a place where shadows lingered and where souls gently drifted after life. This was the Underworld. The word itself carried mystery. Not harsh, not frightening, but mysterious. A realm that lay just beyond the living, where time moved slowly, almost like a dream. To the Greeks, the Underworld was not a single dark cave or a pit. It was wide. It was layered. It stretched like a quiet landscape beneath the earth. There were rivers that glowed faintly in the dim light. There were fields that stretched endlessly. And there were gates guarded by beings both gentle and strong. But above all, the Underworld was ruled with order. It was not chaos. It was not madness. It was a balance. A balance between life and what comes after. The ruler of this quiet land was Hades. He was not the angry villain that later stories sometimes made him out to be. In the older tales, Hades was steady. He was firm but fair. He kept the world beneath in calm order so that the living above might continue without fear. The Greeks believed that when a soul left the body, it did not vanish. It traveled. It moved slowly, guided by invisible currents, until it reached the banks of a river. This river was the first boundary of the Underworld. Its name was Styx, a word that meant hatred, but in this setting, it felt more like separation. It was the quiet line between the world of the living and the quiet of the dead. At the edge of this river, a figure would wait, the ferryman. His name was Charon. He was silent, patient, and always there. His task was simple. He guided souls across the water, but only if they had their coin. The Greeks believed that when a person died, a coin should be placed upon the body, sometimes on the eyes, sometimes under the tongue. This coin was the payment for Charon. It was a token of passage, a sign that the soul was ready to move on. And if the coin was missing, then the soul would wander. It would linger on the shore, unable to cross, waiting, drifting, watching the boat pass again and again. The boat itself was small. It rocked on the black waters of Styx. The oar dipped softly, sending ripples out across the endless stretch. One by one, the souls crossed, and one by one, they disappeared into the mist. Beyond the river, the Underworld opened. There were gates, tall and ancient, guarded by a great hound, Cerberus, the three-headed dog of Hades. But in these early tales, Cerberus was not just a monster. He was also a guardian, a loyal creature who kept balance. No soul could leave once entered, and no living being could sneak in. Those who passed the gates entered a wide plain. Some called it the Asphodel Meadows. It was a field of pale flowers, stretching endlessly beneath a dim sky. Here, most souls wandered, neither punished nor rewarded, simply resting, drifting gently like petals on a calm breeze. And so the Underworld began, not as a place of screams, but as a place of quiet, place of waiting, place of order. Yet, hidden within this calm were secrets, stories whispered among the Greeks, tales of heroes who dared to enter, tales of gods who shaped the rivers, the gates, and the souls themselves, and tales of mysteries still waiting to be uncovered. Tonight, we will walk through those secrets, not hurriedly, not in fear, but slowly, calmly, as though we are strolling through the meadows ourselves. We will meet Hades in his silent hall. We will hear the flowing of the rivers. We will see the gates, the judges, the heroes, and the shadows. We will uncover what the Greeks truly believed about the land beneath. The Underworld may have been a place of death, but in these old stories, it was also a place of truth, a mirror of life with its own rules, its own beauty, and its own secrets. So let us begin this journey. Let us step gently into the hidden land, and let the first secret of the Greek underworld unfold. The journey deeper into the underworld begins with water. Not bright, not sparkling, but quiet. The Greeks spoke of 5 rivers that wound their way through the shadowed land, each one with its own voice. each one with its own secret. The first was Styx. We have already seen its dark current, carrying the souls of the dead. But Styx was more than a river. It was a force. The gods themselves swore oaths upon it. To break an oath sworn on Styx was unthinkable. Even Zeus, the king of the sky, honored its power. For when a god lied upon the Styx, their strength would wither. Their voices would fall silent for years, and they would taste the stillness of the shadowed water. Beyond Styx, another river flowed. Its name was Lethe. This river carried the gift of forgetting. Souls who drank from Lethe let go of memory. They forgot their lives above. They forgot their pain, their joy, their names. All that remained was silence. Calm, empty, drifting silence. The Greeks imagined the Lethe flowing gently, like a stream in the meadow. Its surface still, its waters pale. Those who touched it felt their minds grow light, like feathers caught in the breeze. This forgetting was not cruel. It was a release, a way of softening the weight of a life lived. Then there was Acheron, the river of sorrow. Its waters carried the sound of sighs. Not crying, not screams, only gentle sighs, the release of breath as souls moved across. Acheron was often the first path Charon rode across. The ferryman's boat glided softly, the oar breaking the surface, the river whispering beneath. This sorrow was quiet, not harsh. It was the sorrow of letting go, the sorrow of farewell. Another river was Phlegethon, the river of fire. Yet in these ancient dreams, its flames were not the raging fire of destruction. They were glowing streams, like ribbons of light weaving through the dark. Phlegethon wound its way down into the deeper places, glowing softly, like embers on a long night. A reminder of passion, a reminder of heat, even in the realm of shadow. And at last, Cocytus, the river of wailing. But again, this was not the sharp cry of pain. It was more like the sound of wind moving through caverns, long, hollow, echoing. A song of sorrow that seemed endless, but also strangely soothing. Together, these 5 rivers shaped the underworld. They crossed and twisted, flowing around the meadows and halls. They were not barriers, but pathways. They carried moods, they carried memories, they carried silence. To the Greeks, these rivers explained the mystery of what came after life. Sorrow, forgetting, flame, and silence. Not all at once, but woven together like threads in a great tapestry. When souls entered the underworld, they felt these rivers even if they never saw them. The waters whispered through the air. The ground hummed faintly with their flow. It was a landscape alive, yet quiet, always moving, yet always still. The ferryman, Charon, knew every current. He did not speak, yet he knew the way. His boat followed paths invisible to the living eye. Across Styx, along Acheron, near the soft glow of Lethe. He guided souls through this watery map until they reached the gates of Meados. And there, with rivers behind them, their new existence began. The Greeks spoke softly of these waters because they were not cruel. They were reminders. They showed that even in death there was rhythm. There was movement. There was an order. The underworld was not frozen. It was alive with a quiet flow. And in that flow lay secrets, secrets that whisper to the gods, the souls, and the endless path of life. As we drift further, we will step beyond the rivers. We will pass the gates. And we will see the halls where the rulers of shadow sat in calm silence. The rivers fade behind us now. Their whispers soften. Their sighs grow distant. Ahead, something vast rises from the dim horizon. It is the gates, the entrance to the deeper underworld. The Greeks imagined them tall, ancient, and unshaken by time. Not of wood, not iron, but of stone, so old it seemed part of the earth itself. Great pillars stood on either side. They stretched upward into the dimness, as though holding up the very sky of shadow. Before these gates sat a guardian. Not a man, not a god, but a creature unlike any other. Cerberus, the hound of Hades. His body was strong, his paws heavy as mountains. and upon his shoulders rose three great heads. Each head watched in a different direction. Each head sniffed the air, listening for what passed. But though the sight may seem fierce, the Greeks did not always see him as terror. They also saw him as loyal, a faithful guardian of his master's realm, a protector not of cruelty, but of balance. No living soul could sneak past Cerberus. No spirit could wander back to the sunlight above. The hound was firm, yet fair. He kept order at the threshold. He kept the realm safe. When souls approached, they did not tremble. For Cerberus knew his duty. He let them pass when they came. Only the living, daring to enter, felt the full weight of his gaze. And only they risked the growl that shook like thunder through stone. Behind Cerberus, the gates would slowly open. They did not creak. They did not slam. They moved with a hush, like mountains parting. Beyond them, the underworld widened into its true form. The Greeks described this place as vast. A landscape, not a single hall. There were meadows of asphodel, pale flowers that swayed in a windless air. There were caverns where rivers coiled. There were roads branching in many directions. And in the distance, halls where rulers and judges waited. For the souls, this was the first step into eternity. The meadows stretched before them, endless and calm. No sun rose. No night fell. The sky was soft and dim, as though twilight had lingered forever. The gates themselves marked the line. Behind them was farewell to life. Before them was the quiet of the after. Every soul crossed them. Every soul left the living behind. Sometimes, the Greeks told of heroes who came alive to these gates. Heracles, Orpheus, even Theseus. They stood before Cerberus, their hearts steady, their quests guiding them forward. But those tales are for later. For now, we follow the ordinary path, the path most souls took. Passing through the gates was not a struggle. It was letting go. A step into another kind of being. A step into a realm where time flowed differently. Where silence held meaning. And where stories waited to unfold. As the gates closed behind, the soul was now within the underworld. No longer a wanderer at the river. Now a part of the realm beneath. And deeper still, within this wide-shadowed land, stood the hall of its ruler, Hades, the unseen one, the keeper of order, the quiet king beneath. The meadows stretch wide. The pale flowers bend gently, though no breeze touches them. And in the distance a hall rises, not glittering, not grand like Olympus, but steady, enduring, built of stone that seemed part of the earth itself. This is the hall of Hades, the unseen one, the ruler of the underworld. The Greeks imagined him not as cruel, but as quiet, not as a villain, but as a keeper. His task was not to torment, but to keep order. For in the underworld, order was everything. The hall itself was vast. Its pillars stood tall, carved from shadowed stone. Its roof arched high, disappearing into the dim sky above. Inside, the air was still, yet alive with presence. Torches burned softly along the walls, their flames steady, never flickering. They gave no warmth, but they gave light, enough for the souls to see. At the center of this hall sat the throne. It was not golden. It was not jeweled. It was dark, heavy, made of the same stone as the pillars. It was a throne of permanence, of strength, of quiet power. And upon it sat Hades. His figure was solemn, wrapped in robes the color of night. His eyes were steady, looking not with cruelty, but with clarity. He saw each soul that entered. He saw their truth. Nothing more, nothing less. Beside him often was Persephone, the queen of the underworld. Her presence brought a softer touch. She too was calm. She too kept the balance. Her time was shared between the earth above and the realm below. And when she was here, the meadows seemed brighter. The flowers, even in shadow, seemed to bloom. Together, Hades and Persephone ruled, not with thunder, not with fire, but with patience and with silence. Souls entered the hall not to bow, but to be seen. They were guided toward the judges, wise figures who listened, who weighed lives, who gave direction. But always, the shadow of Hades was near, a reminder that order stood behind all decisions. The Greeks knew that Hades was not loved, but he was respected. He was necessary. Without him, the balance of life and death would break. Without him, souls would wander endlessly. With him, they had a place, a rest, a path. The Hall of Hades was not filled with sound. It was filled with stillness. A stillness that was not empty, but full of meaning, like the pause between heartbeats, like the hush of night before dawn. Here, secrets of the underworld were held. Here, the Greeks imagined the throne that never moved, the ruler who never faltered. And here, the souls found their way forward. As the hall grew quiet again, the souls would be led away, some toward meadows, some toward deeper places, some toward brighter fields. Each one is given a path, a place, a resting place. And so, the Hall of Hades stood as the heart of the underworld. Not a place of terror, not a place of fire, but a place of order. A place where a life story was closed and eternity began. Beyond the throne of Hades, the hall widened into chambers lined with quiet authority. Here, the souls of the departed were guided to meet the judges of the underworld. These were not harsh figures, nor cruel. They were steady, wise, and patient, keepers of balance in this realm beneath the earth. Their names were Minos, Rhadamanthus, and Aeacus. Each had a role, each had a way of seeing. Minos, the eldest, listened first. He did not rush. He did not interrupt. He simply allowed each soul to speak, to tell its story, its life, its choices. Every word mattered. Every memory mattered. Rhadamanthus followed. His gaze was quiet, calm, and unwavering. He could see patterns in deeds, intentions that even the soul might have forgotten. Not to punish, but to understand. To place each life gently within the order of eternity. Aeacus, the youngest, had a voice like a soft wind. He spoke little, but when he did, his words carried clarity. He helped guide souls to their paths. Not paths of suffering, but paths of rest, paths of reflection, paths of gentle wandering. The Greeks believed that life was a tapestry. No thread was wasted. No action truly lost. And the judges of the underworld helped each soul see its place in the vast weave. Some souls were led to the Elysian fields, a gentle, calm space where happiness lingered, where memories of joy and kindness were honored, where gentle rest awaited. Some were guided to the asphodel meadows, a space of quiet wandering, neither joyful nor sorrowful, but neutral, a place of reflection, a place to drift, to become part of the soft rhythm of the underworld. And some, though rarely, were guided to Tartarus, not as a punishment, not as torment, but as deep isolation, a place where the soul could unfold its own lessons, far from disturbance. Here, reflection was profound and understanding slow. The judges were never cruel. They were calm. They were steady. Their decisions were like soft tides, guiding without force, moving souls toward their place within eternity. Even heroes of the living world were judged here. Odysseus, Heracles, and others, when they entered, found not terror, but calm guidance. Their deeds were remembered, their lessons were honored, and their paths were carefully chosen. The hall around the judges was quiet. The air seemed to breathe softly. A hush lingered like a lullaby, and the faint glow of torches gave the chamber a gentle warmth. The underworld, though shadowed, was full of careful light and presence. And so the Greeks imagined the soul's journey here. Not abrupt, not frightening, but deliberate. A gentle passage from the rivers, through the gates, to the throne, and finally to the judges. Every step had meaning. Every step had rhythm. As souls left the chamber of judgment, they would follow quiet paths deeper into the underworld. Some toward meadows, some toward hidden groves, some toward rivers flowing softly in the shadows. And always, they moved under the steady watch of Hades and Persephone. Always, they moved within the gentle order of this realm. Beyond the chambers of judgment, The paths of the underworld opened into a vast plain. The Greeks called it the Asphodel Meadows. Here, the air was still, filled with a soft hush that seemed to settle into the bones. The flowers were pale, like whispers of light across the earth. They swayed, though no wind stirred them, as if breathing with the quiet rhythm of the land itself. This was a space for most souls. Not a place of joy, not a place of sorrow, but a place of reflection. A gentle pause, a realm where one could exist without weight or disturbance. Souls wandered slowly among the pale blooms. Some drifted alone, following invisible trails. Some gathered near the soft murmurs of a distant river. None hurried, none panicked. Each moved as if in a dream, guided by the gentle light that seemed to hover just above the ground. The Greeks believed that here, memories faded softly, not erased completely, but eased into the quiet. Here, the life left behind could be observed with calm understanding. The deeds, the joys, the quiet regrets, each became part of the landscape. Every memory, like petals on a stream, floated gently into place. Even heroes who entered the Asphodel Meadows did so with ease. Odysseus, who had wandered through both the living world and the underworld, found the meadows a place of gentle rest. Heracles, too, paused among the pale flowers, his labors long behind him, the weight of mortal and immortal trials dissolving softly into quiet. The meadows were crossed by rivers that glimmered faintly in dim light. Here flowed the Styx, the Acheron, and the other quiet streams. Their currents whispered stories to the wandering souls. Tales of life, of choices, of paths that had led to this calm space. The water spoke without urgency, without command, just a soft reminder of the gentle passage from life to eternity. Some souls, when they lingered, began to remember joy. A soft laughter from childhood. A quiet kindness shown to a stranger. The simple warmth of a smile. These small recollections seemed to bloom among the pale flowers, adding faint hues to the otherwise silver landscape. Yet, not all who wandered here were fully alive in memory. Some were still learning to let go. Some clutched at tiny shadows of the past, unaware that the meadows offered rest. But the Greeks imagined this too as gentle. No force, no fear, only the subtle guidance of order and rhythm. From this calm space, some paths led elsewhere, toward fields of reward, where remembered joy became gentle delight, toward rivers of forgetfulness, where memories drifted softly away, toward groves of quiet isolation, where reflection deepened like a slow twilight. All paths were guided, not by anger or judgment, but by the unseen care of Hades and Persephone. And the judges, whose voices lingered softly behind the hallways, ensured that even in quiet wandering, each soul followed its natural course. The Asphodel Meadows, in its pale beauty, reminded the Greeks of the gentle balance between life and death. It was not fearful. It was not harsh. It was the quiet continuation of existence, a space where shadows became soft, and the soul's journey could unfold without rush. As we leave the meadows, our steps will carry us deeper still, toward brighter fields of Elysium, toward gentle rewards and the faintest echoes of happiness remembered. Beyond the pale hush of the Asphodel Meadows, the underworld revealed a gentler light. Here lay the fields of Elysium, a realm reserved for souls whose lives had been touched by virtue, kindness, or quiet heroism. Not all heroes of the living world reached this place, yet the Greeks believed that even small acts of goodness might guide one toward these serene fields. The Elysian landscape was gentle and radiant. Soft grasses stretched endlessly, bathed in a calm golden glow that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. Trees with delicate leaves swayed slowly, though no wind stirred them. A faint fragrance lingered in the air, sweet and comforting, like a memory of spring mornings or quiet moments of joy. Souls in Elysium moved without urgency. They wandered through quiet groves. They paused by gentle streams, whose waters shimmered like liquid sunlight. They rested on the soft grasses, their forms weightless, as if carried by the calm rhythm of the underworld itself. The Greeks imagined music here, soft and harmonious, not loud or commanding. Flutes and lyres played in subtle harmony, creating melodies that seemed to rise naturally from the land. Even the rivers of this realm hummed in gentle tune, joining the music in a slow, continuous lullaby. In Elysium, the passage of time felt different. Moments stretched, yet never dragged. Days, nights, and seasons were soft and unhurried. The souls could reflect, could rest, could simply exist without concern. Some souls remembered their lives with fondness. The joy of a simple act of kindness, the warmth of friendship, the quiet victories of compassion. These memories were not burdens. They were gentle echoes, adding soft color to the golden fields. Even the Greeks' greatest heroes were imagined here. Odysseus might stroll along a quiet riverbank, recalling his journeys without regret. Orpheus might strum a lyre in a soft glade, weaving music that mirrored the calm of the land. Heracles, the mighty, could lie in the grass, feeling the weight of his labors lift completely. The fields of Elysium were not a reward in the worldly sense. They were a gentle acknowledgement of the soul's natural goodness, a place to breathe, to remember, and to rest in quiet light. From Elysium, paths led in gentle arcs to other parts of the underworld. Some returned to Asphodel, for even virtuous souls sometimes wished to drift among the quiet flowers. Some lingered near soft rivers, tracing their calm curves. Some walked towards sacred groves, where reflection deepened in silence. Hades and Persephone watched over these fields, as always. Their presence was subtle, not intrusive, a quiet assurance that even in this calm paradise, the balance of the underworld remained. And yet, even the quiet of Elysium, the underworld held secrets. Stories of heroes who returned to the living world, guided by virtue. Tales of rivers that could heal memory or erase sorrow. Whispers of hidden paths that led to deeper mysteries. As we leave the golden glow of Elysium, our journey will carry us to the quietest, most reflective corners of the underworld. To rivers that soothe, groves that nurture thought, and places where shadows teach without words. The golden fields glow softly behind us. The streams hum a lullaby. From the golden calm of Elysium, the underworld's paths led to a quieter, more reflective river. Its name was Lethe. To the Greeks, it was the river of forgetting, a gentle stream that offered peace through the soft release of memory. The water flowed slowly, like liquid mist across stone and shadow. Its surface was smooth and pale, reflecting faint light from the unseen sky above. The souls who approached Lethe did so not in fear, but in a quiet readiness. They had traveled far, past gates, rivers, and fields, and now they came to a space of gentle stillness. Drinking from Lethe did not erase lives violently. It did not snatch away joy or sorrow abruptly. It was like inhaling a deep, calm breath, letting the weight of life ease softly from the mind and spirit. Memories faded gently, slipping like petals drifting on water. Moments of sorrow dissolved first, then small regrets, and finally the sharp edges of daily worries. The Greeks imagined this forgetting as a gift, not a punishment, not a loss, but a quiet preparation for rest. For in the underworld, even the act of forgetting was part of balance. It allowed the soul to drift without burden, to move freely, to exist in a state of serene calm. The riverbanks were soft and inviting. Here, souls could sit, their feet touching the pale waters. They could lean back and breathe, feeling the currents carry away tension and grief. And as they did, the pale mists above the river seemed to rise, forming shapes of gentle light, echoing the peace of the moment. Sometimes, the heroes who entered Lethe's flow remembered just enough to reflect on lessons learned. Odysseus might recall a single act of kindness. Orpheus might remember a note of music, soft and distant. Even the mighty Heracles could feel the gentle easing of past labors, their weight dissolving like morning fog. Lethe was not a place to lose oneself entirely. It was a place to prepare, to soften, to enter the deeper calm of the underworld with clarity and peace. Those who drank of its waters emerged lighter, freer, ready to continue along paths yet unseen. Beyond the river, other rivers waited. Acheron whispered its sighs. Phlegethon glowed faintly like embers in distant caverns. Cocytus hummed its hollow song. All flowed in harmony, forming the quiet rhythm of this realm beneath the earth. And yet, Lethe held a subtle secret. Even in its calm, it reminded souls that life above was fleeting. That memory, though precious, could be released. that the gentle letting go of the past opened space for reflection, for peace, for understanding. The Greeks believed that even the gods respected Lethe. Its waters were sacred, touched by divine wisdom. Oaths sworn near Lethe carried weight. Promises made in its calm currents echoed through eternity. As we step away from Lethe, the soul feels a quiet lightness, a gentle freedom, a readiness to move deeper into the shadowed paths. Beyond the soft release of Lethe, the underworld opened to another river. Its name was Acheron, the river of sorrow. But even its sorrow was quiet, gentle, and reflective. Not sharp, not frightening, but a calm reminder of the weight of life left behind. The waters flowed slowly, deep and dark, carrying soft ripples that whispered like distant sighs. The souls who approached did so without fear. They knew that Acheron did not demand anguish. It offered a space for reflection, a place to feel, and then to release the quiet sadness that often lingered in memory. Along the riverbanks, pale reeds swayed. Their movements were subtle, almost imperceptible. They seemed to breathe with the river, bending and straightening in rhythm with the currents. The air was cool, calm, and still. It carried a soft fragrance, earthy and faint, like soil after gentle rain. The Greeks imagined Acheron as a path of transition. Souls might linger here briefly, letting the river's currents guide their thoughts. Some would reflect on moments of loss, some on times of quiet regret. All, however, would leave lighter than before, carrying a calm understanding rather than burden. Charon, the ferryman, sometimes guided souls along Acheron's gentle waves. His boat moved quietly, barely disturbing the water. He did not speak, yet his presence reassured the drifting souls. They moved with ease, carried by the river's rhythm, guided by the subtle authority of the underworld. Even heroes and gods, in rare tales, were said to pause at Acheron. They would contemplate deeds done, battles fought, choices made, not in guilt or fear, but in quiet thoughtfulness. Acheron, in its soft sorrow, reminded all that life was precious and fleeting, and that reflection was part of the soul's journey. Nearby, small paths branched toward meadows, groves, and fields. The river never forced movement. It only whispered suggestions, like a gentle breeze nudging one forward. Souls could linger or move on, guided by their own quiet instincts. Even the river's name, Acheron, spoke softly. It meant sorrow, yes, but here sorrow was a companion, not a tormentor. It was the gentle awareness of loss, the soft acknowledgement of life's passing, and within that acknowledgement lay peace. Some who lingered near Acheron began to sense the rhythm of the underworld itself. The slow pulse of rivers, the soft sway of meadows, the quiet authority of Hades and Persephone. Everything was connected. All flowed gently together. All existed in calm balance. And so, as souls moved beyond Acheron, they carried with them a soft clarity, a serenity born not of forgetfulness alone, but of understanding, a knowing that even sorrow, when held gently, could be part of the quiet harmony of eternity. Deeper within the underworld, the soft darkness gave way to a gentle glow. Here flowed Phlegethon, the river of fire. Its warmth was subtle, its light soft and comforting, like embers resting in a quiet hearth. It was not a river of terror, but of calm illumination. The waters shimmered with a slow, amber light. They wound through the shadowed plains in smooth curves, tracing paths that seemed to guide the wandering souls. The Greeks imagined Phlegethon as a river that reminded all who entered of vitality, of energy, and of quiet resilience. Even in the shadows, there was warmth. Even in silence, there was life. Souls who approached Phlegethon felt a gentle glow upon them. Not heat that burned, but a subtle comfort, as if the river itself whispered reassurance. They followed its curves with quiet steps, mesmerized by the soft shimmer that danced across the water. The riverbanks were lined with stones that glowed faintly. They hummed with the soft pulse of the current. Even in the depths of the underworld, this warmth reminded travelers that movement, light, and energy still existed. Some souls paused to watch the play of firelight on water. It reflected memories in gentle waves. Not memories of sorrow or pain, but moments of courage, perseverance, and quiet triumph. In this glow, even the smallest acts of kindness or bravery seemed to shine. Charon, the ferryman, rarely traveled Phlegethon stretches, but the currents themselves guided those who came willingly. Souls moved easily, following the river's light as if carried by invisible hands. The warmth of the river did not rush them. It only offered steady, soft encouragement to move forward. The Greeks told stories of heroes glimpsing the Phlegethon. Some saw it as a river that reflected their deeds. Heracles, resting after his labors, might gaze into its gentle flames and remember acts of strength performed not for glory, but for quiet duty. Odysseus might reflect on moments of cleverness and compassion, letting the river's glow illuminate the lessons of his long journey. Even the faintest light in the underworld had meaning. Phlegethon reminded all who approached that even in shadow, there was warmth. Even in silence, there was energy. Even in the endings, there was a quiet spark of continuity. Paths from Phlegethon led gently to other rivers, meadows, and groves. The souls could drift wherever they felt drawn. They moved slowly, peacefully, in tune with the river's soft rhythm. Each bend revealed a new perspective. Each ripple reflected a fragment of memory or insight, softly illuminated in amber glow. And so the river of fire flowed endlessly, not with fury, not with alarm, but with a gentle light that reminded all of the balance between shadow and warmth, stillness and motion. Beyond the gentle glow of Phlegethon lay Cocytus, the river of wailing. The name may sound frightening, but in the whispers of the Greeks, it was not meant to terrify. It was a river of quiet reflection, a space where the soft echoes of life's endings could be acknowledged and understood. The waters of Cocytus flowed slowly, almost lazily, through shadowed plains. They were dark, deeper than the eye could fully measure, yet their surface shimmered faintly with a silver light, like moonbeams brushing against calm glass. The river's voice was not a scream, but a low, continuous hum. It carried whispers of memory, soft sighs of reflection, and the gentle weight of lives that had passed from the world above. Souls who approached Cocytus felt its presence immediately. Some paused at the edge, dipping their hands into the cool, calm waters. They felt a sensation of quiet release, as if the river was helping them gather fragments of the past and set them gently upon the current. Memories of loss, regrets, and sorrow drifted into the flowing water, carried away in a peaceful, rhythmic motion. The riverbanks were lined with reeds that swayed even when no wind touched them. Their movement was subtle and hypnotic, like the slow breathing of the underworld itself. Soft light glinted off the water's surface, illuminating the faces of souls who lingered here, showing calm expressions of acceptance and understanding. The Greeks imagined Cocytus not only as a river, but as a teacher. It reminded each soul that sorrow was not punishment, but part of life's natural rhythm. To acknowledge sorrow gently was to understand the balance between what was lost and what had been lived. Even heroes of legend, when passing Cocytus, might pause to reflect. Odysseus could hear the faint echoes of homes he longed for, not with pain, but with soft nostalgia. Heracles might sense the subtle cost of his labors, felt not as regret but as quiet lessons carried forward. Charon's boats sometimes drifted alongside Cocytus, gliding softly over its dark waters. The ferryman moved without sound, letting the river's natural hum guide him. Souls were carried along in a gentle rhythm, moving at the pace of reflection itself. No rush, no fear, only the slow unfolding of understanding. Along Cocytus, small tributaries branch off into meadows and groves, softly lit by distant fires or faint sunlight from above the underworld's veil. These paths allowed wandering souls to explore, to linger in reflection, or to continue toward the brighter fields of Elysium. Each soul could choose its own quiet journey, guided only by the natural currents of the river and the gentle unseen hands of Hades and Persephone. The Greeks often told stories of the souls who lingered by Cocytus. They spoke of poets and musicians who carried their memories of beauty here, letting the river preserve it without burden. They spoke of warriors and travelers who set down the weight of their deeds, finding clarity in the quiet hum of flowing water. Even the smallest, most ordinary lives were honored here, their moments of kindness and care preserved in the rhythm of the river. The river itself seemed alive, not in the way of the living, but in a softer, enduring way. It carried the essence of reflection, teaching that even sorrow has a place and a purpose. It whispered of continuity, of the cycles of life and death, of the gentle return to calm that follows every ending. As the souls moved onward from Cocytus, they felt lighter. The hum of the river lingered in their minds, a gentle reminder that all endings are part of a larger pattern. Even sorrow can be beautiful, even quiet can be meaningful, and even reflection can be a form of grace. From here, the path led toward hidden groves and shadowed halls, places where the underworld deepened, where quiet mysteries waited, and where the unseen currents of rivers converged to guide souls toward their eternal resting places. Cocytus faded behind them, its silver hum lingering softly in memory. The reeds swayed gently. The dark waters flowed on, slow and purposeful. The underworld, though quiet and shadowed, was not a realm of lifelessness. It held echoes of the living world, particularly in the presence of heroes. Those who had walked extraordinary paths above found their deeds remembered, softly reflected in the landscapes, rivers, and meadows below. The Greeks imagined heroes drifting gently through the shadowed plains. Odysseus, ever the wanderer, moved with careful steps, observing the rivers and fields he had once only glimpsed in stories. His eyes, calm now, traced the slow currents of Styx and Lethe, tracing memories of journeys past, battles faced, and lessons learned. He did not rush. He did not lament. He simply reflected, walking slowly as the quiet rhythm of the underworld guided him. Heracles, mighty yet weary, rested often in the soft meadows. The weight of his labors, once so pressing, now dissolved into the calm presence around him. He might pause by the gentle glow of Phlegethon or wander alongside Cocytus, feeling the river's subtle hum ease the strain of countless adventures. Even the most extraordinary deeds were absorbed into the gentle harmony of the realm, transformed into reflection rather than fame or triumph. Orpheus, the musician, moved along soft paths lined with pale flowers and rivers that whispered. His lyre, though silent here, seemed to echo faintly in the currents of the underworld. The rivers and meadows responded to him, as though every note he had played in life left a gentle trace in this quiet, shadowed land. Even in death, art found a place, soft and enduring, free from applause or acclaim. These heroes did not dominate the underworld. They blended into its calm rhythm, respected not for their deeds alone, but for the balance they maintained between life and reflection. The Greeks imagined their presence as a gentle light within the subdued tones of shadowed plains and softly flowing rivers. They served as examples, not of greatness in life, but of the serenity that comes from acceptance and understanding in the afterlife. The paths these heroes walked intersected with those of ordinary souls, creating quiet connections. A wandering soul might glimpse Odysseus paused at the bank of a gentle stream, Heracles resting beneath a soft grove of trees. No fear, no awe, only a sense of continuity. Even in death, the threads of life intertwined, softly, without urgency. In Elysium, some heroes lingered longer, exploring its golden fields and gentle rivers. They walked slowly, letting the calm environment encourage reflection. Even the faintest memories of life above, the laughter of friends, quiet moments of bravery, acts of kindness, became luminous in this soft light. The underworld, though shadowed, was attentive to all lives, heroic or ordinary, treating each with patience and care. Not all paths were calm. Some heroes paused near the darker rivers, such as Lethe or Acheron. Here, reflection deepened. Memories of challenges, failures, and sorrow were acknowledged, but gently. There was no torment. There was no judgment. Only understanding, as if the rivers themselves whispered lessons of balance and acceptance. The Greeks also imagined that heroes sometimes guided others. Their quiet presence reassured wandering souls, offering subtle encouragement to move forward, to accept reflection, or to follow new paths within the underworld. They became part of the gentle order, not rulers, but companions on the soft journey of eternity. Even the halls of Hades seemed to acknowledge their presence. Though the king of the underworld maintained his throne with calm authority, there was space for heroes to walk thoughtfully, to rest in meadows, to drift along rivers, and to explore quiet groves. Persephone's presence, too, offered subtle light and warmth, a reminder that the realm beneath the earth was not devoid of grace or gentle beauty. In this way, the underworld became a tapestry, weaving heroes and ordinary souls together into a quiet, harmonious rhythm. No life, no matter how fleeting, was lost entirely. Even great deeds were softened into calm reflection. part of the landscape, part of the flowing rivers, part of the pale meadows, part of the quiet whispers that lingered in every shadowed corner. The Greeks imagined that heroes, through their calm presence, helped souls understand that death was not an end, but a transformation. Memory could be carried softly, sorrow could be released gently, and even the greatest challenges of life could become lessons in patience, balance, and acceptance. Here, the underworld was not frightening, but a teacher of serenity. Not a place of punishment, but a realm of understanding. As the heroes wandered slowly through the meadows, along rivers, and past quiet groves, they reflected the gentle rhythm of the underworld itself. They guided, they learned, and they rested. All movements were deliberate yet soft, like a slow, steady heartbeat that echoed through shadowed plains and golden fields alike. From here, the path leads toward hidden groves and secret corners of the underworld, where subtle mysteries await, places where the softest lessons, the quietest insights, and the deepest reflections can be found. The hero's presence lingers behind us, calm and steady. Their steps blend with the rivers, meadows, and glowing streams. Beyond the soft hum of Cocytus and the gentle glow of Phlegethon, the underworld revealed spaces less traveled by wandering souls, hidden groves. These were quiet sanctuaries tucked between rivers, meadows, and shadowed plains, places of reflection, meditation, and gentle contemplation. The Greeks imagined them as secret pockets of peace, where the mysteries of life and death whispered softly among the trees. The groves were filled with trees of pale silver and soft green, their leaves shimmering faintly in the dim light. No wind disturbed them, yet they swayed ever so gently, as if breathing in time with the slow rhythm of the underworld. Soft moss carpeted the ground, cushioning the steps of wandering souls. Flowers bloomed quietly, small lights of color against the muted backdrop, releasing gentle scents that seemed to calm both body and spirit. These groves were often connected to quiet streams, the small tributaries that branch from the larger rivers. The water's gentle trickle mingled with the hum of unseen currents, creating a lullaby of soft sound that carried through the shaded paths. Souls would pause by these streams, letting the water reflect memories, release gentle sorrows, or simply provide a place to rest. Here, time moved differently, slower, softer, almost imperceptible, allowing reflection without pressure or urgency. The Greeks imagined that these hidden groves were spaces of subtle lessons. Not all souls wandered here naturally. Some required guidance, subtle encouragement from unseen hands. The groves offered insights into balance, patience, and acceptance. Even fleeting glimpses of their serene beauty could impart calm understanding, a quiet acknowledgement that life, death, and memory are all threads in the same gentle tapestry. Occasionally, heroes and notable souls passed through these groves. Odysseus might pause beneath a pale silver tree, reflecting on journeys past, finding quiet clarity in the soft dappled light. Heracles might rest on a mossy bank, sensing the relief from the weight of countless labors, allowing reflection to settle peacefully in his heart. Orpheus might sit by a gently flowing stream, softly hearing echoes of music long played, the notes woven into the very rhythm of the underworld. Even ordinary souls found profound calm here. A mother might remember the soft laughter of children, now quieted, feeling both sorrow and gentle gratitude. A traveler might recall moments of kindness or courage, their significance softened but never lost in the serene embrace of the groves. Each soul learned, in its own way, the value of reflection, the meaning of patience, and the gentle unfolding of understanding. The light in the hidden groves was never harsh. It filtered softly from an unseen source above the underworld, creating gentle patterns on the forest floor. Shadows intertwined delicately with the light, reminding wandering souls that even darkness could be serene, even shadow could have depth and quiet beauty. Paths within the groves often led to smaller clearings, circular spaces surrounded by trees, where the softest lessons lingered. Here, souls might rest, meditate, or simply exist in quiet harmony with the surroundings. The Greeks imagined that these clearings allowed for subtle communion with the underworld itself, an awareness of its rhythm and structure that brought comfort and serenity. The hidden groves also connected gently to other areas of the underworld. A small path might lead back toward the Elysian fields, allowing reflection and gentle reward to coexist. A tributary stream might flow toward asphodel meadows, reminding wandering souls of balance and neutrality. Every path, every subtle turn, maintained the soft, interconnected rhythm of the underworld, a place where movement was deliberate yet soothing. Even the guardians of the underworld, Cerberus, Hades, and Persephone, acknowledged these spaces. Cerberus might stand silently at the edge of a grove, his watchful eyes softened in the calm light. Hades' presence was felt in the order, the careful guidance of paths and rivers that led souls here. Persephone's influence was most tangible, as gentle warmth and faint luminescence suffused the groves, reminding all who wandered that even in shadow, grace exists. The hidden groves were also places where the Greeks imagined subtle mysteries lingering. Some whisper that lost memories could be recovered here, gently and without urgency. Others suggested that fleeting insights, lessons not yet learned in life, might reveal themselves quietly among the silver trees and soft moss. It was a realm of gentle discovery, where reflection and calm understanding merged into serene awareness. As souls wandered, they began to sense the soft connections between rivers, meadows, and groves. A pattern emerged, a rhythm of gentle guidance, a choreography of reflection and release. Here, the underworld was not dark or frightening. It was a living, breathing place of serenity and calm, where each element, the water, the light, the moss, the trees, worked together to teach the soft lessons of eternity. Eventually, paths within the hidden groves led toward broader horizons. Some wandered to other rivers, like Lethe or Styx, to continue quiet reflection. Some returned toward Elysium, to bask once more in its golden glow. Others remained in the groves, letting time flow slowly, embracing the tranquility that only these hidden spaces could offer. The Greeks imagined that every soul, hero or ordinary, learned something here. Even the briefest pause could illuminate a lesson in patience, balance, or gentle acceptance. And as the underworld's quiet rhythm carried them onward, these hidden groves became soft anchors of serenity, guiding each step along the path of eternity. The light filters softly through silver leaves. Streams hum quietly over mossy stones. And the journey deeper into the gentle mysteries of the Greek underworld continues, step by step, breath by breath, with calm and steady rhythm. From the quiet hidden groves, the path of the underworld led toward a river both famous and revered, Styx. To the Greeks, Styx was no ordinary river. It was the river of oaths, a boundary between worlds, a symbol of the solemn promises that shaped both gods and mortals alike. Its waters flowed dark and slow, yet with a reflective clarity that mirrored the faint, soft light of the underworld. The currents hummed with a gentle resonance, as if carrying the echoes of countless pledges made across time. Though its name carried weight, in the stillness of the underworld, Styx's presence was calm, commanding respect without fear. It taught that words and intentions, even in the quietest moments, held power and meaning. Souls who approached Styx often paused in reverent contemplation. Some were ordinary individuals, reflecting on promises they had kept, or those left unfulfilled. Some were heroes, remembering vows that guided their deeds in life. Odysseus might linger on the riverbank, thinking of the many times he had relied on his word to navigate both peril and peace. Heracles, too, might feel the weight of pledges kept quietly in moments unseen, knowing that even subtle choices shaped his path. The Greeks believed that the gods themselves respected Styx above all other rivers. Even Zeus, the king of Olympus, was bound by its currents. Oaths sworn upon Styx carried absolute significance, and even divine beings adhered to its quiet authority. In the underworld, these waters reminded souls that integrity, commitment, and truth were not merely earthly concerns, but eternal principles, softly echoing in the rhythm of eternity. The riverbanks of Styx were lined with soft stones, smooth and cool to the touch. Moss grew quietly between cracks, and occasional flowers peeked through, pale and delicate, as if honoring the solemnity of the river. Small ripples danced along the surface when a soul's reflection touched the water, reminding all who approached that even quiet actions left gentle marks. Charon, the ferryman, occasionally glided along Styx, his boat moving silently over the calm currents. Souls could cross safely when guided, each journey a quiet passage toward reflection or onward paths. Unlike the swift currents of the mortal world, Styx carried all who entered with gentle patience, allowing each soul to pause, consider, and acknowledge their own truths. Stories told by the Greeks spoke of Styx as a teacher of subtle wisdom. It reminded wandering souls that promises and intentions, even unspoken ones, leave gentle traces that shape lives and afterlives alike. A fleeting act of honesty, a quiet gesture of loyalty, or a simple word kept in silence, all were honored here, reflected in the soft shimmer of the river's surface. The water itself seemed almost alive. It responded to each soul's presence, shimmering more brightly when a vow had been upheld, reflecting faint ripples when a promise remained unresolved. Even sorrowful recollections were tempered by the river's gentle resonance, reminding all that understanding, acceptance, and calm reflection could transform any lingering tension. The Greeks imagined that Styx also guided certain souls to lessons yet unseen. A hero might be led to consider courage beyond physical strength. An ordinary soul might sense the impact of kindness unrecorded in memory. Even small acts gained gentle acknowledgement in the currents of Styx, teaching that nothing in life, however subtle, was without consequence or quiet significance. Paths from Styx often led to other rivers or meadows, maintaining the soft rhythm of the underworld. A tributary might carry a soul back to Asphodel to continue neutral reflection. Another path might guide one toward Elysium, where virtue was honored with gentle light. Even the smallest movement, when carried with awareness, became part of the harmonious flow of the realm below. Heroes, too, sometimes lingered along the riverbank to teach subtle lessons without words. Their presence was soft, never imposing. Odysseus might point a gentle nod toward a reflective stream, encouraging observation. Heracles might sit silently on a smooth stone, embodying patience, restraint, and calm resolve. Even their quietude became guidance, showing that leadership and strength often dwell in calm understanding rather than loud action. The underworld, through Styx, reminded all who enter that promises and integrity endure beyond life's fleeting moments. Sorrow and regret were acknowledged, but softened. Reflection was not rushed, but encouraged. Even endings carried purpose, and the gentle current of Styx ensured that lessons, intentions, and truths were carried onward without fear or urgency. As souls continue their journey, moving along the river's soft curves or drifting toward connected meadows and tributaries, they carried with them a calm awareness. The quiet hum of Styx lingered in memory, a gentle teacher of truth, reflection, and continuity. The soft ripple of water reminded all that even in the shadowed realm beneath the earth, integrity and understanding endure. Beyond Styx lay paths that led deeper into the mysteries of the underworld. Rivers converged, groves whispered, meadows stretched in soft, endless patterns. Every element maintained the gentle rhythm of eternity, ensuring that souls moved forward in calm, steady passage. The river Styx shimmered behind them, dark yet radiant. Its hum carried softly through the air. Deep within the underworld, where rivers converged and meadows stretched into shadowed groves, there resided a presence both protective and serene, Cerberus, the three-headed guardian. Though stories often painted him as fearsome, in the gentle rhythm of the underworld, he was more a guide than a terror. His role was not to frighten, but to maintain balance, ensuring that souls moved along their paths with calm order. Cerberus's three heads were ever watchful, each attentive to different currents of the underworld. One watched the rivers, tracking the soft flow of Lethe, Acheron, and Styx. Another observed the meadows, noting wandering souls as they reflected in quiet contemplation. The third roamed the hidden groves and pathways, ensuring that even the gentlest souls remained safe and undisturbed. Despite his size and strength, Cerberus moved with surprising grace. He padded silently across mossy floors and soft stones, his presence steady yet unobtrusive. The Greeks imagined him not as a monster, but as a careful companion for those entering the realm beneath the earth. Even the most nervous or hesitant soul could sense his calm authority and find reassurance in his watchful vigilance. Souls traveling the underworld often paused at Cerberus's side, not in fear, but in quiet recognition. They sensed a guardian, a protector of the natural order. Odysseus, reflecting on his long journeys, might nod quietly to the creature, acknowledging the silent guidance that kept the realm in gentle harmony. Heracles could rest nearby, aware that even the mightiest needed reassurance and safety in a space so vast and mysterious. Cerberus's three heads also symbolize balance. The Greeks believed that one head observed the past, another the present, and the third the future. In this way, he maintained continuity, ensuring that every soul's journey flowed naturally, without sudden disruption or fear. Even sorrowful memories or forgotten joys were met with a soft awareness, never harsh judgment. The guardian's presence extended to subtle interactions with the rivers and groves. He occasionally guided wandering souls toward calmer tributaries or shaded groves where reflection could deepen. If a soul lingered too long in uncertainty, a soft nudge from one of his heads might encourage gentle movement along a more harmonious path. This guidance was never forceful. It was like a quiet hand on the shoulder, a reminder that the underworld's rhythm existed for their benefit. Even the rivers seemed to respond to Cerberus's presence. Lethe's currents flowed a little smoother, Cocytus hummed more softly, and Styx's reflective waters shimmered with subtle clarity. He was a stabilizing force, a guardian of balance, embodying the calm authority of the underworld itself. The Greeks imagined that heroes respected Cerberus, understanding his role in maintaining order. Odysseus might pause and observe the guardian, contemplating the lessons of vigilance and patience. Heracles could lie in a nearby meadow, sensing that even strength must be tempered by awareness. Orpheus, passing through a grove near the guardian, might notice the soft sway of Cerberus's movement and the way the shadows bent gently around him, reflecting subtle wisdom. Cerberus's gentle authority also served symbolic purpose. He reminded souls that boundaries were not barriers, but protections. The underworld was a space of reflection, not fear. The guardian ensured that all who entered could explore, rest, and learn within safety, allowing the soft current of time, memory, and understanding to flow without disturbance. The Greeks also imagined moments when Cerberus paused quietly near the rivers. He might watch a soul sip from Lethe, release sorrow into Cocytus, or acknowledge promises near Styx. His presence added a subtle sense of rhythm and structure, reinforcing the underworld's gentle, continuous flow. Even heroes, who might otherwise be confident or bold, found reassurance in his silent, calm vigilance. Paths around Cerberus often led to groves, meadows, or tributary streams, each chosen with natural order in mind. The guardian did not control souls with force, but guided them softly, allowing freedom within gentle limits. The underworld, through his presence, balanced reflection, learning, and serenity. Every step was intentional, yet effortless, like the slow rhythm of a quiet heartbeat. The Greeks believed that Cerberus, despite his fearsome image and stories, exemplified harmony. He was strength tempered by patience, vigilance balanced by calm, and authority softened by understanding. In the quiet of the underworld, he was both a guardian and a teacher, guiding souls gently through shadowed rivers, hidden groves, and luminous meadows. As travelers moved beyond his watchful gaze, the sense of safety remained. The rivers continued their gentle flow. The groves whispered quietly amongst silver leaves, and the meadows stretched softly, bathed in pale light. Even in his absence, Cerberus's presence lingered in the rhythm of the underworld. Souls carried with them the subtle reassurance of calm authority, gentle guidance, and protective vigilance. And with each step, they moved deeper into the serene mysteries of the Greek underworld, feeling safe, reflective, and unhurried. In the quiet heart of the underworld, beyond rivers and hidden groves, there lay a presence both luminous and calm, Persephone, the gentle queen of this shadowed realm. Her reign was not one of harsh judgment or fear, but of subtle balance, nurturing, and soft illumination. The Greeks imagined her as a guide, a comforter, and a quiet guardian for all wandering souls. Persephone's presence could be felt even before she appeared. A faint warmth pervaded the air, gentle light shimmered among shadowed trees, and the soft hum of rivers seemed to carry her calm energy. Her voice, though seldom raised, was imagined to resonate like the rustle of leaves or the distant trickle of water, a quiet melody that encouraged reflection and serenity. The queen of the underworld maintained harmony between the living memories of souls and the quiet stillness of eternity. She moved gracefully along the pathways, her robes gliding softly over mossy stones and shaded meadows. Her gaze, steady yet tender, seemed to understand each soul's journey, honoring the lessons, regrets, and quiet joys that accompanied them. Even heroes paused in her presence, sensing the gentle wisdom that required no words to convey. Persephone was particularly associated with renewal and balance. Though the underworld was a realm beneath the earth, it was not stagnant. Seasons shifted in quiet rhythms, gentle flowers bloomed, and rivers flowed without hurry, all under her subtle influence. The Greeks imagined that she brought light to shadow, order to stillness, and calm to reflection. Souls often sought her guidance without asking. Some would wander to her near hidden groves or softly lit meadows, drawn by the serenity that seemed to radiate from her presence. A mother might feel her grief softened. A warrior might sense the quiet wisdom of restraint. A poet might find inspiration lingering in the hush of the air. All discovered a subtle understanding, a reassurance that even in endings, there was gentle continuity. Persephone also watched over the rivers with a tender eye. Lethe flowed with added softness as she passed, encouraging memory to release itself without pain. Cocytus hummed more gently, reminding souls that sorrow could be acknowledged without overwhelming the spirit. Even Styx shimmered with a subdued clarity, reflecting not only the weight of odes but also the quiet wisdom of honesty and reflection. The Greeks often imagined interactions between Persephone and Cerberus. The guardian, though powerful and imposing, was softened by her presence. Where Cerberus maintained order, Persephone nurtured understanding. Together, they ensured that the underworld was both structured and serene, a realm where souls could journey without fear, guided by gentle authority and calm light. Heroes in particular found her reign comforting. Odysseus, reflecting on years of wandering and trials, could pause in a grove under her soft illumination, finding calm clarity and peace of mind. Heracles, who had carried immense burdens, might rest beside a gently flowing stream, feeling the weight of his labors ease beneath her subtle influence. Even Orpheus, whose music once stirred hearts and gods alike, could sense the quiet echo of his art harmonizing with her presence. The hidden groves under her watch were places of soft revelation. Souls might uncover forgotten insights, release lingering worries, or experience moments of gentle reflection. Persephone's influence ensured that these discoveries were never rushed or jarring. Instead, each lesson, memory, or realization arose naturally, like morning light filtering through leaves. The meadows and trees responded to her steps. Leaves swayed with subtle rhythm, flowers opened gently, and soft scents carried through the air, encouraging calm introspection. Even the faint hum of distant rivers seemed attuned to her presence, moving in harmony with her serene energy. Persephone's reign reminded all who entered that the underworld, though shadowed, was not devoid of grace. It was a place for learning, reflection, and gentle growth. The Greeks imagined that her wisdom guided souls in understanding the balance between life and death, memory and forgetfulness, sorrow and acceptance. In her realm, even endings were meaningful, carrying subtle lessons and quiet beauty. Paths from her presence often led to places of gentle illumination or reflective rivers. Souls could wander further into meadows or hidden groves, or follow soft currents toward Elysium. Every movement, guided by her quiet influence, maintained a rhythm of calm and reflection. Even the smallest details in her presence mattered. A soft bloom on the riverbank, a faint shimmer in a stream, or the gentle sway of a silver leaf, all spoke to her careful attention. No soul was overlooked. Every wandering traveler experienced the quiet reassurance that they were seen, valued, and gently guided. The Greeks imagined that Persephone also encouraged subtle connections among souls. Shared reflection, quiet understanding, and soft acknowledgement of common experiences created a gentle sense of community. Even in solitude, souls felt less alone, comforted by the pervasive calm she provided. As travelers moved onward from her side, the influence lingered. Rivers flowed softly, groves whispered quietly, and meadows stretched under gentle light. Her presence was remembered not as a distant figure, but as a calming rhythm woven into every shadow, every current, every leaf. Persephone's reign was a reminder that the underworld was a place of serenity, patience, and soft guidance. Here, memory, reflection, and release existed in harmony. Even the deepest sorrow or heaviest burden could find gentle ease. Beyond the rivers, groves, and softly glowing streams lay a place of quiet neutrality, the Asphodel Meadows. Here, the underworld revealed a landscape of gentle balance, a space where ordinary souls wandered softly, neither burdened by sorrow nor elevated by fame. The Greeks imagined the meadows as an expanse of calm, pale flowers, stretching as far as the eye could see, bathed in subtle, ambient light. The asphodel flowers themselves were delicate, white, and soft, swaying gently in the faint, ever-present breeze. Their petals seemed to carry a soft luminescence, creating a subtle shimmer across the plains. Each step upon a mossy ground released a faint scent of earth and blossom, calming the mind and easing the heart. Souls who wandered here felt a soothing sense of continuity, as if each footfall connected them softly to the rhythms of the underworld. The meadows were not silent. A soft, continuous hum carried through the air, blending with the rustle of leaves and the faint trickle of distant streams. It was neither song nor voice, but a harmonic resonance that seemed to encourage reflection and serenity. Ordinary memories floated along this hum, mingling gently with those of heroes and wandering spirits, creating a delicate web of quiet continuity. The Greeks imagined that the asphodel meadows were a place for contemplation and gentle rest. Souls might wander slowly among the flowers, pausing to remember small acts of kindness, moments of joy, or brief flashes of courage. Even mundane memories were honored here, treated with the same calm reverence as those of famous heroes. No rush existed, no urgency pressed the soul onward. Each being could move at its own pace, allowing reflection to unfold naturally. Heroes occasionally wander here too, not to dominate, but to blend into the serene rhythm of the plains. Odysseus, walking softly among the blooms, might reflect on simple moments in his life: the kindness of strangers, quiet nights under the stars, gentle words exchanged in fleeting encounters. Heracles might feel the calm of the meadow soothe him after countless labors, understanding that even the mightiest need spaces of gentle neutrality. Orpheus might pause beside a stream running through the meadows, recalling the faint echoes of music that lingered in the underworld, harmonizing softly with the natural hum of the land. The Greeks also imagined that the meadows encouraged connections among souls. A wandering spirit might sense another nearby, and without speech, a soft acknowledgement would pass between them. It was a quiet recognition, a subtle companionship that reminded each soul that, even in neutrality, they were not alone. These moments were fleeting yet meaningful, like soft beams of light filtering through the trees in a grove. Paths in the asphodel meadows often led to rivers, groves, or more luminous parts of the underworld. Souls might drift toward Lethe for reflection, Cocytus for gentle release of sorrow, or hidden groves for quiet insight. The meadows acted as a gentle hub, calm center connecting the various currents of the underworld. The Greeks believed that time here moved differently. A single hour might feel like moments, while a single step could unfold a memory spanning a lifetime. This elasticity allowed souls to explore their inner reflections without pressure, to feel the depth of experiences, and to release lingering burdens slowly and softly. Even ordinary actions, such as walking among the flowers or listening to the soft hum of the rivers, became meditative, carrying profound meaning without urgency or intensity. Persephone's influence extended here as well, softly illuminating the plains and ensuring that even in neutral reflection, a sense of calm and gentle order persisted. Cerberus's watch was never far, maintaining balance and subtle guidance, yet never intruding upon the quiet journeys of souls. The harmony of guardianship and gentle guidance created a sanctuary where even fleeting, everyday memories were honored and soothed. Some Greeks imagined small clearings within the meadows, places where souls could rest fully. A soul might sit quietly on a soft patch of moss, letting the gentle sway of asphodel flowers remind them of continuity, connection, and calm understanding. Here, reflection was not forced. It arrived naturally, encouraged by the serenity and soft rhythms of the meadow. Even sorrow found its place in the asphodel meadows, though transformed into a gentle awareness rather than weight or burden. A faint memory of loss might rise, acknowledged softly, then drift away like petals floating upon a gentle stream. The Greeks saw this as a natural process of the soul's journey, where every emotion, every memory, and every reflection had its place and purpose, yet none dominated the calm. Heroes, ordinary souls, and even gods in rare stories seemed to recognize the importance of these meadows. The space taught patience, neutrality, and quiet reflection, offering respite from sorrow and insight into the gentle balance of life and death. It reminded wandering souls that not all lessons arrive through dramatic events or heroic deeds. Some are discovered in the stillness, the quiet, and the soft passage of time. As the sunless light of the underworld filtered softly across the asphodel meadows, the souls continued their journeys. Rivers flowed nearby, groves whispered softly, and hidden paths led gently onward. Every step became part of a quiet rhythm, a slow unfolding of understanding, acceptance, and serene awareness. The Greeks imagined that the asphodel meadows, while neutral and calm, were essential. They offered a place to pause, to reflect, to release, and to prepare for the next stage of the underworld journey. Here, even ordinary lives were honored, their memories preserved in the gentle hum of the meadows, alongside heroes and wandering spirits alike. The soft sway of flowers, the hum of distant rivers, and the quiet movement of souls created a living rhythm, one that continued endlessly, step by step, breath by breath. And as travelers moved from the asphodel meadows toward the luminous fields beyond, they carried with them a sense of calm, reflection, and gentle continuity, ready for the next stages of the serene mysteries of the Greek underworld. Beyond the soft, neutral expanse of the asphodel meadows lay a place of gentle radiance, Elysium, the fields of bliss. Unlike the quiet neutrality of the meadows, Elysium glowed with calm warmth, soft light, and a sense of serene fulfillment. The Greeks imagined it as a reward not for fame or wealth alone, but for goodness, virtue, and lives lived with quiet purpose. The fields stretched endlessly, dotted with gentle hills, pale flowers, and softly murmuring streams. The air was infused with faint, sweet fragrances, delicate and soothing, never overwhelming. A subtle, almost musical hum accompanied the soft rustle of leaves and the trickle of water, creating a peaceful symphony that encouraged rest and reflection. Souls who entered Elysium felt an immediate release of tension, calm awareness that they had arrived in a space where serenity reigned. The Greeks imagined heroes wandering here, not for glory, but for gentle reflection. Odysseus could walk along pale hills, remembering adventures and choices, observing the ripple of rivers beneath soft light, feeling no urgency, only quiet understanding. Heracles might rest beneath a flowering tree, sensing the weight of labors lifted, replaced with a gentle awareness of achievement and calm. Even poets, musicians, and ordinary souls found Elysium to be a place where their inner beauty and virtue could be reflected softly, without judgment or competition. The landscape itself encouraged quiet introspection. Streams wove between rolling hills, reflecting faint sunlight or the glow of unseen lamps in the underworld. Flowers opened gently with each step, responding to the calm energy that permeated the fields. Paths wound naturally through the hills and groves, encouraging wandering, slow reflection, and serene contemplation. No soul was hurried. All moved at their own pace, embracing the rhythm of gentle discovery. Persephone's influence extended subtly into Elysium. Her soft illumination guided the light across meadows and streams, highlighting colors, reflections, and textures without overwhelming the senses. Even Cerberus's watchful presence maintained balance here, ensuring that the serene order of Elysium remained intact while souls wandered freely and peacefully. The Greeks imagined that Elysium also allowed souls to reconnect with virtues or memories cherished in life. A quiet act of kindness, a gentle word spoken in passing, or courage shown in subtle ways could blossom anew here, softly illuminated and deeply understood. These reflections were never loud or dramatic. Instead, they flowed naturally, like the gentle currents of rivers weaving through the fields. In Elysium, heroes and ordinary souls could meet in subtle harmony. Odysseus might encounter a wandering poet, exchanging quiet acknowledgement without words. Heracles might observe a kind soul resting beneath a tree, feeling satisfaction in shared calm. Even in silence, connections formed, reinforcing the gentle sense of community that pervaded this part of the underworld. Time in Elysium moved softly, like a breath drawn slowly and released with ease. A single moment could stretch into long reflection, allowing souls to absorb the calm, understand their journey, and release lingering concerns. Even sorrowful memories could be revisited here, transformed into gentle lessons rather than burdens. The Greeks imagined this as a place where learning, reflection, and serenity intertwine naturally, preparing each soul for continued journeys through the underworld. The rivers feeding Elysium contributed to its gentle energy. Tributaries from Lethe brought clarity of memory, streams from Cocytus carried subtle acknowledgement of sorrow released, and Styx's reflective waters reminded souls of integrity and promises kept. These currents wove together into a tapestry of calm, a symphony of quiet, ensuring that every moment in Elysium carried peace and insight. Even small details mattered here. Soft moss underfoot, petals brushing fingertips, faint ripples in a stream, or distant patterns of light filtering through leaves. all contributed to the gentle rhythm of reflection and understanding. The Greeks imagined that attentive souls noticed these details, learning subtle lessons about patience, awareness, and acceptance in the process. In Elysium, reflection was gentle but profound. The Greeks believed that this was a place where ordinary and heroic lives alike found recognition, not through fanfare, but through the quiet acknowledgement of virtue, calm courage, and thoughtful choices. Even those who had experienced little fame or glory in life could bask in the soft light of fulfillment, understanding that every gentle action, every kind thought, contributed to the serene harmony of eternity. As souls wandered, rivers shimmered softly, flowers swayed gently, and light moved with quiet grace. Even the softest footsteps seemed to join the natural rhythm of Elysium, becoming part of its calm, endless flow. No haste existed. No competition pressed upon the soul. Only the slow unfolding of understanding, reflection, and serene awareness filled each moment. Elysium reminded all who enter that life's small virtues and quiet acts of goodness mattered as much as grand deeds. Memory, reflection, and calm acknowledgement intertwined here, giving each soul a sense of completeness, of gentle satisfaction, and of soft peace. Even heroes could feel humble, ordinary souls could feel honored, and every moment was suffused with the subtle grace of eternity. Paths from Elysium led back toward rivers, groves, or the asphodel meadows, maintaining a sense of connectivity and rhythm. Souls could revisit earlier lessons, continue reflection, or wander toward new experiences, always supported by the gentle currents of the underworld. Every movement reinforced calm, reflection, and awareness, ensuring that each soul's journey remained unhurried, harmonious, and serene. And so, as travelers wandered softly through the fields of bliss, they carried with them a sense of fulfillment, gentle understanding, and calm perspective. Beyond the radiant fields of Elysium flowed a river both mysterious and gentle, Lethe, the waters of forgetfulness. The Greeks imagined Lethe as a quiet, winding river whose soft currents carry the power to ease memory, soothe sorrow, and prepare souls for reflection and renewal. Unlike turbulent rivers, Lethe moved slowly, deliberately, inviting souls to release burdens naturally and without force. The water shimmered in pale, silvery tones, reflecting soft light that seemed to originate from within. Its surface rippled gently when touched by wandering souls, each wave carrying a subtle resonance of memory and calm. The Greeks believed that the river allowed souls to forget pain, forget regrets, and if needed, forget the fleeting hardships of life itself. Yet this forgetfulness was not harsh or complete. It was gentle, like a soft breeze smoothing ripples in a pond. Souls approached Lethe in quiet contemplation. Some came from Elysium, carrying soft memories of virtue and reflection. Others wandered from asphodel meadows, seeking calm neutrality after a life of ordinary deeds. Even heroes paused, feeling the subtle release of tension that the river's currents provided, a quiet reminder that reflection often requires letting go. The Greeks imagined that drinking from Lethe was an act of gentle cleansing, not of body, but of spirit. A mother might sip the water to release lingering sorrow for children lost. A warrior might drink to release lingering fear or guilt, allowing clarity and calm to return. Even Odysseus or Heracles could partake, not to forget victories or lessons learned, but to soften the weight of burdens carried silently across lifetimes. Lethe's banks were lined with soft moss and pale flowers, reflecting the river's gentle energy. Trees leaned slightly toward the water, their branches forming quiet arches overhead. The air carried subtle fragrances, encouraging reflection and deep exhalation. Every element combined to create an environment that invited patience, awareness, and serene contemplation. The Greeks also imagined that Lethe worked in harmony with other parts of the underworld. Its gentle currents flowed toward rivers like Styx, reminding souls of the integrity of memory, and toward streams from Cocytus, balancing sorrow with understanding. Even in its quiet forgetfulness, Lethe maintained a connection to reflection, ensuring that release did not erase wisdom or gentle insight. Guardians like Cerberus maintained calm order along the banks, guiding wandering souls gently toward its waters. Persephone's subtle illumination softened the surroundings, enhancing the reflective quality of the river. Even heroes and wandering spirits respected the quiet authority of Lethe, sensing that its power was not to punish or erase, but to nurture and restore calm balance. The Greeks imagined that Lethe's influence extended beyond simple forgetfulness. By releasing unnecessary burdens, souls could move forward with clarity and serenity. This gentle forgetting allowed reflection to flourish, memories to be understood without pain, and wisdom to grow without interference from lingering sorrow. It was a quiet, essential process, a natural rhythm of the underworld that guided souls gently toward inner peace. The water itself seemed almost alive. Ripples formed with subtle patterns, shimmering faintly in the soft glow. Souls touching the surface felt calm waves flow through them, releasing tension, softening memories, and inviting tranquility. Even fleeting thoughts, if clung to too tightly, were eased gently into the river's embrace, leaving the spirit lighter and more open. Lethe's pathways often led back to groves, meadows, or Elysium. Souls could wander freely after drinking, carrying with them the soft clarity of reflection unburdened by sorrow. Even ordinary moments, like walking along the riverbank or listening to its gentle hum, contributed to the sense of calm and renewal. Heroes who paused by Lethe gained a subtle understanding of the value of letting go. Odysseus might sense that journeys are enriched not only by experience, but also by the gentle release of memory that no longer serves the spirit. Heracles could recognize that true strength lies in balance, and in knowing when to release the weight of past labors. Even poets and musicians might feel the inspiration of unburdened thought, the creativity that arises when sorrow is softened and clarity restored. The Greeks imagined that Lethe was not only for reflection, but also for preparation. Souls who drank gently from his waters could move toward new experiences in the underworld with serenity, ready for continued journeys through meadows, groves, rivers, and fields of bliss. Forgetfulness, in this sense, was not loss, but a softening, an opening of space for calm understanding and harmonious exploration. Paths from Lethe connected, naturally, to other parts of the underworld. Tributaries led toward Elysium for reflection and reward, or toward asphodel meadows for balance and neutral contemplation. The quiet rhythm of the river ensured that every step a soul took carried them forward in gentle, deliberate flow, aligned with the soft, eternal currents of the underworld. Even small gestures mattered. A touch to the water, a pause to gaze at its gentle flow, or a quiet breath inhaled along the riverbank contributed to the soul's journey. These acts were unnoticed by the living, yet in the underworld, they shaped awareness, reflection, and serene understanding. As the currents carried memories softly onward, the Greeks imagined that souls emerged lighter, freer, and more attuned to the gentle rhythms of eternity. Lethe was a teacher of patience, of release, and of the delicate art of soft forgetting. It reminded all who enter the underworld that calm, reflection, and acceptance are nurtured through subtle, quiet means. And so, as souls drifted gently from the river, the meadows and fields, the hidden groves, and the radiant Elysium, they carried with them clarity, serenity, and soft understanding. Beyond the quiet ripples of Lethe flowed a river soft in sound yet profound in presence, Cocytus, the river of wailing. Though its name suggested sorrow, the Greeks imagined this river not as a place of fear, but as a gentle conduit for reflection, memory, and calm acknowledgement of the softer pains of life. Its waters carried the weight of unspoken regrets, subtle sadness, and fleeting sorrows, all flowing quietly beneath the shadowed canopy of the underworld. The river's surface shimmered in muted silver and soft gray, reflecting the dim light that filtered from hidden groves above. Currents moved gently, never harsh or turbulent, creating a slow rhythm that invited pause and quiet thought. Souls approaching Cocytus sensed a deep calm in its flow, a subtle understanding that their memories and feelings would be acknowledged without judgment or fear. The Greeks imagined that Cocytus gave shape to emotions often left unspoken in life. A mother might sense the soft echoes of loss, a warrior the quiet weight of past hesitation, or an ordinary soul the faint touch of a regret long carried. In this gentle acknowledgement, there was no pain intended, only soft recognition, a moment of clarity and release in a place attuned to reflection. The riverbanks were lined with pale stones, soft moss, and small trees whose leaves swayed gently in a quiet, unseen wind. Faint flowers, white and silver, leaned toward the water as if listening, their presence lending calm beauty to the surroundings. Even the air seemed imbued with a subtle hum, carrying whispers of gentle understanding across the current, encouraging souls to pause and reflect. Cocytus's waters sometimes intertwined with tributaries from Lethe and Styx, creating a quiet interplay of memory, reflection, and integrity. The Greeks imagined that the currents worked in harmony, ensuring that sorrow was softened, lessons were preserved, and clarity was restored. No soul was forced to confront grief. Instead, they were gently guided to acknowledge, release, and move forward with calm awareness. Guardians like Cerberus moved quietly along the banks, their presence offering reassurance rather than fear. Even heroes and wandering spirits paused respectfully, sensing the balance of vigilance and serenity that Cocytus provided. Persephone's soft illumination touched the river, glimmering on the water's surface and highlighting the gentle rhythm of flowing currents. The Greeks also imagined that Cocytus served as a space for quiet learning. By acknowledging subtle sorrows, the soul discovered resilience, patience, and the art of soft acceptance. Even fleeting or minor regrets were given their place in the gentle flow, allowing lessons to surface naturally without urgency or tension. Heroes found particular insight here. Odysseus might linger at the river's edge, contemplating the weight of choices made during long journeys, feeling neither despair nor judgment, only calm understanding. Heracles could sit beside the water, sensing the soft release of burdens accumulated across countless labors, discovering strength in reflection rather than action. Even poets, musicians, and ordinary souls could find inspiration in the gentle acknowledgement of emotion, learning that calm observation allows insight to grow organically. The Greeks imagined that Cocytus also connected softly to the broader landscape of the underworld. From here, paths led to asphodel meadows for neutral reflection, to Elysium for calm reward, or to hidden groves for quiet meditation. The river's gentle flow maintained the underworld's rhythm, ensuring that every soul moved seamlessly, guided by currents of reflection, balance, and serenity. The sound of the river itself was soft and constant, a low murmur that encouraged inward focus. Waves lapped lightly against mossy stones, carrying echoes of memories once locked away. Even a faint ripple could inspire a quiet release, a gentle letting go of lingering tension, leaving the spirit lighter and more attuned to calm awareness. Persephone's presence lent subtle warmth to the river's flow, and the soft light highlighted patterns in the currents that the Greeks imagined carried meaning. A swirling ripple might reflect a forgotten lesson. A calm stretch of water might signify a sorrow gently understood. Every subtle movement was part of the quiet education Cocytus offered, helping souls recognize that reflection, acceptance, and serenity are intertwined in delicate harmony. The Greeks believed that ordinary souls and heroes alike benefited from the river's presence. Even the faintest whisper of regret or sorrow found acknowledgement here, and by entering the gentle flow, each soul could release tension and continue its journey with clarity. No rush existed. No judgment prevailed. Only the slow, deliberate rhythm of recognition, release, and calm understanding moved through every ripple, every stone, every soft sway of the surrounding trees. Paths along Cocytus eventually led toward other rivers, groves, or luminous meadows. Souls carried with them the soft clarity gained here, gently prepared to encounter new experiences or return to familiar spaces like asphodel meadows or Elysium. Even the smallest steps reflected the quiet lessons of the river, that sorrow, memory, and reflection can coexist softly, without haste or fear. As travelers moved along the gentle current, the Greeks imagined the underworld revealing its calm continuity. Rivers hummed, groves whispered, meadows stretched endlessly, and the soft rhythm of the entire realm carried the soul forward. In the quietest, most hidden depths of the underworld lay a place both vast and solemn, Tartarus, the deepest shadows. Though stories often spoke of Tartarus as a place of fear, the Greeks also imagined it as a realm of profound calm, structure, and quiet reflection for those who reached its depths. Here, beneath rivers, groves, meadows, and the soft radiance of Elysium, the underworld revealed its full expanse, extending into shadowed chambers that moved slowly and deliberately through time. Tartarus was not filled with chaos. Its darkness was steady and muted, like the soft shadow beneath a dense forest canopy. The Greeks imagined wide, echoing spaces, with walls of stone and shadow, where stillness prevailed. Currents of cool, calm air flowed through corridors, carrying faint hums and whispers that encouraged deep reflection. Souls entering Tartarus felt themselves enveloped not in terror, but in a sense of immense space, order, and patient continuity. Even in these deepest reaches, rivers and streams found their way. Soft tributaries from Cocytus and Lethe flowed quietly, ensuring that memory, reflection, and calm understanding reached every corner. Water rippled gently over smooth stones, a soft accompaniment to the echoing quiet of the chambers. The Greeks imagined that these waters maintained harmony, preventing the vast darkness from feeling empty or overwhelming, and ensuring that every moment in Tartarus was part of the underworld's continuous serene rhythm. The air of Tartarus carried faint fragrances, earthy and grounding, reminding wandering souls of connection and continuity. Moss and small plants grew in hidden pockets, and faint, soft lights glimmered along stone corridors, providing subtle illumination. Even the shadow itself seemed alive, moving slowly and gracefully, inviting reflection rather than fear. Every element of Tartarus contributed to a gentle, contemplative atmosphere, teaching that the deepest places often hold calm lessons as profound as those in the light. Guardians maintained balance in Tartarus, though their presence was soft and unobtrusive. Cerberus's gaze extended even here, ensuring order without intrusion. Persephone's quiet influence stretched into the shadows, bringing subtle warmth and reflection to spaces otherwise hidden from sight. Even heroes paused, sensing the immense calm of the deep realm, understanding that quiet vigilance and structured shadow held their own lessons. The Greeks imagined that Tartarus allowed souls to explore the profound aspects of existence, beyond memory, beyond immediate reflection, into the depths of patience, endurance, and awareness. Here, a soul might confront the quiet weight of accumulated experiences, slowly releasing tension without haste. Even ordinary regrets, subtle fears, or long-forgotten decisions found acknowledgement in the muted stillness of this deep space. Reflection here was deliberate, almost meditative, allowing insight to unfold naturally over time. Heroes wandered Tartarus with respect. Odysseus might explore its vast corridors, contemplating not only past deeds but also the subtler currents of patience, humility, and endurance that shaped his journey. Heracles could feel the deep calm of the shadows, understanding that true strength includes quiet restraint and reflection. Even poets and musicians imagined the faint hum of their art echoing softly here, blending with the natural rhythm of shadow and stone. Tartarus also contained hidden chambers and alcoves, spaces where individual reflection could deepen. A soul might sit quietly in one corner, listening to faint ripples, feeling the cool air, and absorbing lessons that emerged only in deep, deliberate contemplation. These moments were private, serene, and expansive, allowing the mind and spirit to rest and reflect without interference. The Greeks imagined subtle currents connecting Tartarus with the upper layers of the underworld. Rivers led softly upward toward Cocytus, Lethe, or Styx, carrying reflections gently along their course. Even in the deepest shadows, the underworld maintained its continuity, ensuring that every soul moved along a calm, interconnected journey. Soft patterns of light and shadow played across stone walls, reflecting the slow rhythm of understanding and awareness. Every echo, every ripple, every faint glow was part of a deliberate harmony, reminding souls that even in darkness, there is structure, meaning, and gentle beauty. The Greeks believed that Tartarus offered profound lessons in patience, acceptance, and the quiet unfolding of insight. Even sorrow, regret, or lingering tension could be softened here, acknowledged in the slow rhythm of shadows and reflections. The underworld, through Tartarus, taught that true understanding often arises not in brightness or celebration, but in quiet, steady contemplation. Paths within Tartarus led gradually to other regions, ensuring that souls could move onward when ready. Some pathways led upward toward asphodel meadows, Elysium, or rivers, while others encouraged continued meditation within shadowed depths. The slow rhythm of movement was never pressured. Every step was deliberate, intentional, and harmonious with the broader flow of the underworld. Even the smallest details in Tartarus were significant. A faint ripple in a hidden stream, a soft hum from the stone walls, or the quiet sway of moss beneath a gentle breeze, all contributed to calm understanding. Souls learned subtle lessons about endurance, reflection, and the art of gentle awareness, carried onward softly into the rest of the underworld. As travelers emerged from Tartarus, the Greeks imagined a sense of profound calm accompanying them. Rivers, groves, meadows, and fields shimmered softly, reflecting the depth of experience now integrated into their journey. Step by step, breath by breath, the slow unfolding of wisdom, patience, and reflection continued, preparing each soul for the remaining mysteries and serene passages of the underworld. And so, in the deepest shadows, Tartarus revealed its quiet, endless rhythm, showing that even the most hidden, vast, or solemn spaces of the Greek underworld hold calm, subtle lessons in gentle beauty, endlessly and peacefully. Even within the calm and shadowed expanses of the underworld, heroes walked paths marked by quiet reflection, gentle challenges, and subtle learning. The Greeks imagined these journeys not as trials of fear or conflict, but as measured explorations of courage, wisdom, and patience. Odysseus, Heracles, and other legendary figures moved through rivers, meadows, groves, and deep shadows, guided by the soft rhythms of the underworld, slowly understanding that even heroism could unfold with calm and reflection. The journey of a hero began often at the borders of Elysium or asphodel meadows, where the light was soft and the air carried gentle fragrance. Here, reflection was encouraged, allowing the hero to consider past deeds, choices, and moments of quiet virtue. Odysseus might walk among pale hills, remembering both victories and small gestures of kindness. Heracles might pause by a softly flowing stream, releasing the weight of labors and finding inner serenity. The Greeks imagined that the rivers, Lethe, Cocytus, and Styx, guided heroes subtly. Lethe's gentle currents allowed the release of unnecessary burdens. Cocytus' quiet hum acknowledged lingering sorrow and regret. Styx reminded heroes of integrity, oaths, and promises, reinforcing calm reflection rather than fear. Every river, every tributary, every soft ripple contributed to the measured pace of heroic exploration. As heroes wandered, they encountered landscapes shaped by subtle symbolism. The asphodel meadows encouraged patience, neutrality, and awareness of everyday virtue. Elysium offered soft illumination, gentle reward, and quiet acknowledgement of good deeds. Tartarus presented space for deep contemplation, endurance, and reflection on the hidden currents of life. Each region was part of a continuous, calm narrative, weaving together lessons and insight without hurry or tension. The Greeks imagined that heroes often observed the guardians and rulers of the underworld with respect. Cerberus, though imposing, guided rather than constrained. Persephone, luminous and serene, offered gentle guidance and understanding. Even the shadows of Tartarus, her subtle presence encouraged reflection, teaching heroes that true strength lies not only in action, but in calm awareness and patience. Heroic journeys were not solitary. Though introspective, these travels allowed encounters with other souls, each bringing subtle insight and quiet companionship. Odysseus might meet a wandering poet and share a wordless acknowledgement of experience. Heracles could sense a quiet exchange of energy with ordinary souls, understanding the humility and subtle virtue in simple presence. Even the smallest interactions carried profound lessons in empathy, reflection, and calm understanding. The Greeks imagined that heroes also revisited rivers, groves, and fields during their journey. Lethe offered moments to release tension. Cocytus allowed acknowledgement of lingering sorrow, and the groves provided spaces for quiet thought. Every step, every pause was deliberate, creating a slow rhythm that mirrored the steady, meditative flow of the underworld itself. This rhythm taught that heroism, even in legend, is enriched by reflection, calm endurance, and gentle understanding. The journey through the underworld also allowed heroes to contemplate mortality, virtue, and the soft lessons of experience. They observed ordinary souls with quiet respect, noting how even lives lived without fame could reflect virtue, patience, and inner strength. This understanding reinforced the subtle truth that heroism encompasses both grand deeds and quiet wisdom, equally important in the eternal landscape of the underworld. Pathways guided by rivers and groves led heroes naturally through diverse experiences. A bend in the asphodel meadows might reveal a quiet reflection on patience. A stream in Elysium could illuminate subtle virtue. A shadowed corridor in Tartarus invited endurance and deliberate awareness. The Greeks imagined that every movement, every reflection, and every pause was part of a continuous, gentle narrative that allowed heroes to integrate lessons softly and harmoniously. Even the smallest details mattered on these journeys. The sway of flowers, the soft hum of distant rivers, the pale light reflecting off a mossy stone, all carried meaning and contributed to calm insight. Heroes learned to notice these details, absorbing subtle wisdom without urgency, allowing understanding to emerge naturally. The Greeks believed that the hero's journey through the underworld was not a race or a series of trials, but a continuous exploration of balance, reflection, and serenity. By engaging with rivers, meadows, groves, and shadows, heroes cultivated patience, empathy, and subtle insight, understanding that even the mightiest must honor reflection and calm. As heroes moved gently through the underworld, the rhythm of their steps aligned with the natural currents of the realm. The air, rivers, meadows, and light combined to reinforce calm, continuity, and serenity. Step by step, breath by breath, they learned that heroism is measured not only in acts of courage, but also in quiet understanding, soft reflection, and steady presence. Even in solitude, the journey remained meaningful. Every reflection, every soft observation, and every pause contributed to the hero's growth, strengthening virtues and enhancing awareness. The Greeks imagined that such journeys inspired future mortal and heroic souls, showing that courage includes patience, wisdom, and calm acceptance as much as action and valor. And so, the journey of heroes continued quietly, endlessly, and serenely, weaving together reflection, insight, and gentle lessons from rivers, groves, meadows, and shadowed paths. In the heart of the Greek underworld, heroism found a rhythm of calm understanding, soft wisdom, and endless, gentle discovery. Flowing through the quiet expanses of the underworld was a river both revered and softly mysterious, Styx. The Greeks imagined Styx as a gentle yet significant river, carrying the essence of oaths, promises, and quiet reverence. Though often described as a river of solemnity, its waters in the underworld were calm, reflecting light subtly and flowing with measured, deliberate rhythm. Souls who approached Styx sensed an unspoken understanding that integrity, memory, and quiet respect for commitments could be acknowledged and honored here. The water shimmered in deep silvers and muted blues, reflecting pale light from hidden groves and softly glowing flowers along its banks. Currents moved deliberately, carrying faint echoes of promises made, whispered, or long honored. The Greeks imagined that every ripple, every shimmer, and every gentle wave was part of a soft chorus of integrity, teaching the importance of respect, reflection, and calm understanding. Even heroes approached Styx with reverence. Odysseus might pause to contemplate vows taken during his journeys, reflecting on promises made to friends, gods, or strangers. Heracles could sense the weight of oaths kept and unfulfilled, considering lessons in responsibility and measured wisdom. Even ordinary souls felt the subtle encouragement of reflection here, understanding that integrity is a quiet, enduring quality, honored in the calm flow of Styx. The banks of Styx were lined with soft moss, delicate flowers, and leaning trees, their branches forming gentle arches over the water. The air carried faint fragrance, earthy and subtle, fostering introspection and calm thought. Even the softest ripple or whisper along the bank seemed infused with meaning, reminding souls that every action, promise, and reflection contributes to the rhythm of life and eternity. The Greeks imagined that Styx connected naturally to other rivers, groves, and meadows of the underworld. Its waters intertwined softly with Lethe, Cocytus, and tributaries flowing toward Elysium and Asphodel meadows. This subtle connectivity ensured that lessons of memory, sorrow, reflection, and virtue continued seamlessly, guiding each soul gently through the serene rhythm of the realm. Guardians moved quietly along Styx's banks, maintaining balance and order without intrusion. Cerberus's presence reinforced calm vigilance, ensuring that the sacredness of oaths was acknowledged while still preserving the serene flow of reflection. Persephone's gentle illumination softened shadows along the river, guiding wandering souls with subtle grace. Souls approaching Styx were encouraged to reflect on the essence of promises. Some considered oaths made in life, others contemplated subtle commitments of thought, care, or kindness. Even fleeting or forgotten intentions could be gently acknowledged, absorbed, and understood in this reflective space. The Greeks imagined that through such contemplation, a soul could release lingering tension while honoring the quiet significance of integrity. Soft currents of Styx carried echoes of lessons learned, both from heroic deeds and ordinary lives. The Greeks imagined that listening closely, one could perceive the harmonized whisper of countless souls reflecting on truth, responsibility, and calm awareness. Even in stillness, the river taught that respect for integrity and patience is a quiet, enduring form of wisdom. Heroes often wandered along the gentle banks, absorbing these subtle lessons. Odysseus might notice the way light shimmered on the water, reminding him that promises reflect not only duty, but also the careful care of thought and attention. Heracles could reflect on the quiet courage it takes to honor commitments, learning that strength encompasses patience and steadfastness as much as action. Even poets and ordinary souls might pause to witness the soft rhythm of Styx, sensing insight in the gentle flow of water and echoes of past reflections. The Greeks believed that the river also served as a guide, connecting souls to deeper understanding and quieter lessons. Soft pathways led to asphodel meadows, letting memories rest in neutral calm. Tributaries guided souls toward Elysium, allowing reflection to bloom into gentle reward. Even passages toward Tartarus carried opportunities for contemplation and meditative endurance, harmonizing with the steady rhythm of the river. Subtle details along Styx carried meaning. The sway of overhanging branches, the gentle ripple of water across smooth stones, the soft hum of wind through flowers, all contributed to calm awareness. Souls learned to notice these small harmonies, understanding that reflection, respect, and integrity arise in subtle, deliberate ways rather than through urgency or loud declaration. Even sorrow and regret found gentle acknowledgement here. Rather than overwhelming the spirit, reflections of past missteps, broken promises, or forgotten words were absorbed into the soft rhythm of the river. The Greeks imagined that the act of acknowledgement, without fear or panic, brought relief, clarity, and calm understanding. As travelers drifted along Styx, the gentle hum of the water accompanied them, carrying a sense of continuity and serene presence. Every step aligned with the rhythm of the river, every breath mirrored its calm current. Step by step, ripple by ripple, each soul absorbed lessons of patience, reflection, and gentle awareness, preparing for the next stages of the underworld's serene mysteries. Even in solitude, Styx offered subtle companionship. Souls felt they were part of an ongoing rhythm, connected through the quiet echoes of oaths, promises, and reflections. The Greeks imagined that this quiet interconnectedness taught humility, understanding, and the gentle art of observation, reminding all who wandered of their place in the vast, harmonious flow of existence. And so the river Styx flowed quietly through the underworld, honoring memory, integrity, and reflection. Through gentle currents, soft echoes, and deliberate rhythm, it guided souls, heroes, and ordinary travelers alike, revealing that even solemn oaths and past reflections can be absorbed, understood, and carried forward with calm, serene awareness. At the very center of the underworld stood a place of quiet authority and serene dignity, Hades' palace. The Greeks imagined it not as a place of fear or darkness alone, but as a calm, structured heart of the realm, where order, balance, and gentle governance were maintained. Softly illuminated by unseen light, the palace was a vast structure of stone and quiet majesty, surrounded by groves, rivers, and pathways that carried souls in measured, peaceful rhythm. The architecture of the palace reflected subtle harmony. Walls rose in gentle arches, corridors opened into soft courtyards, and open spaces allowed light and air to move freely. Though the palace was immense, it was not overwhelming. Every space seemed carefully proportioned, inviting reflection and calm presence rather than awe or fear. The Greeks imagined the air carrying faint fragrance of moss, stone, and delicate blooms, contributing to the soft serenity of the environment. Hades, the ruler of the underworld, was imagined as both vigilant and composed. He moved quietly among his halls, observing without intrusion, guiding without force. Even heroes paused respectfully in his presence, feeling the quiet weight of authority tempered with calm order. Persephone, luminous and gentle, often moved alongside, softening shadows, offering insight, and reminding wandering souls of gentle guidance and serene wisdom. The palace was not empty. Courtyards contained soft mossy patches and gently flowing fountains. Small alcoves provided spaces for quiet contemplation, reflection, or gentle rest. Rivers and streams flowed nearby, carrying subtle currents from Lethe, Cocytus, and Styx, integrating the wisdom and calm lessons of the underworld into the heart of Hades' realm. The Greeks imagined that souls entering Hades' palace experienced a profound sense of order and continuity. Here, reflection could deepen without distraction. Memories could be observed without fear. Virtue, courage, and subtle lessons were acknowledged in soft, deliberate ways. Even the most ordinary lives were honored within these walls, their contributions to the gentle rhythm of the underworld quietly recognized. Heroes wandering the palace often found moments of insight. Odysseus might pause in a quiet courtyard, reflecting on the balance of action, patience, and wisdom that shaped his journey. Heracles could walk softly along marble corridors, sensing the interplay between effort, restraint, and calm reflection. Even poets and ordinary souls found the palace to be a space where inner growth and gentle understanding could unfold naturally. The Greeks imagined that Hades' palace was also a place of connection. Paths from the palace led to Elysium, asphodel meadows, Tartarus, and rivers throughout the underworld. This ensured that every journey remained seamless, flowing with soft rhythm, and that lessons of virtue, reflection, and calm understanding reached all who moved through the realm. Subtle details reinforced the serene atmosphere. The sway of trees in hidden courtyards, the gentle ripple of fountains, and the quiet hum of air through corridors all contributed to the soft rhythm of the palace. Souls who noticed these details felt a sense of presence, continuity, and calm guidance, recognizing that even the smallest elements of the environment carry gentle lessons for reflection and awareness. The Greeks also imagined that Hades' palace served as a center of gentle resolution. Disputes or tensions among wandering souls were addressed not with punishment or loud intervention, but with quiet acknowledgement and subtle guidance. Even heroes learned that strength lies in understanding, patience, and measured action, rather than in force or dramatic display. The palace's chambers were places of observation and learning. A soul might sit quietly, observing light shifting through windows, hearing distant water, feeling the gentle hum of energy flowing through the halls. These moments encouraged awareness, calm reflection, and the slow integration of lessons from previous experiences in the underworld. Even ordinary reflections, once observed in silence, carried meaning, reinforcing the rhythm of serenity that permeated every part of the palace. Hades' palace reminded souls that authority, like wisdom, need not be harsh or intrusive. Balance, calm observation, and gentle guidance allowed the underworld to maintain harmony, ensuring that every river, meadow, grove, and shadowed corridor contributed to the serene continuity of the realm. Even heroes discovered that patience, humility, and reflection were essential components of true strength. The Greeks imagined that visitors to the palace felt a profound sense of continuity with the broader underworld. Step by step, breath by breath, souls aligned with the rhythm of rivers, meadows, groves, and shadowed corridors. Every step reinforced calm reflection, every breath echoed subtle lessons, and every quiet pause contributed to inner awareness and gentle understanding. As travelers exited Hades' palace, the Greeks imagined them carrying with them insight, clarity, and serenity. Paths led back toward rivers, meadows, or hidden groves, continuing the calm journey through the underworld. Step by step, ripple by ripple, every soul moved in harmony with the gentle currents of reflection, virtue, and serene presence, carrying lessons from the heart of Hades' realm onward. Among the rivers and gentle currents of the underworld moved a figure both quietly essential and softly mysterious, Charon, the ferryman of souls. The Greeks imagined Charon not as frightening, but as a calm guide, a patient presence helping souls navigate the gentle currents of Lethe, Styx, and Cocytus. His role was simple yet vital, to ensure that every soul could move safely and smoothly through the flowing pathways of the underworld. Charon's boat was imagined as small, steady, and perfectly balanced upon the river. The wood glimmered faintly in soft light, polished by centuries of quiet travel. No rush marked his work. Each journey was deliberate, measured, and serene. Souls approached the boat with calm awareness, knowing that the ferryman's presence offered guidance rather than fear. The Greeks imagined that Charon's appearance was humble but distinct. Clad in muted robes, he moved with patient, deliberate steps. His eyes reflected deep understanding rather than threat. Even heroes paused respectfully, sensing the calm authority of one who moved between worlds with quiet purpose. The process of crossing the rivers was gentle and rhythmic. Souls stepped aboard the boat, felt the soft sway beneath their feet, and were guided slowly across the reflective waters. The murmuring of the river beneath, combined with Charon's steady presence, created a sense of calm continuity. Even those who had wandered long distances felt relief in the deliberate, soothing pace of the journey. The Greeks believed that Charon's work was integral to the serene flow of the underworld. Lethe's gentle currents carried a soft release of memory. Cocytus acknowledged subtle sorrow. Styx reminded me of integrity. and Karen's boat bridged these currents, ensuring that every soul moved seamlessly, absorbing lessons, reflection, and gentle insight along the way. Heroes experience these crossings with reverence. Odysseus might pause to observe the reflective waters, contemplating journeys past, present, and future. Heracles could sense the subtle interconnections of effort, patience, and calm guidance embodied in the steady motion of the boat. Even ordinary souls felt the significance of the crossing, a gentle reminder that support, structure, and quiet guidance accompany all journeys. The Greeks imagined that the boat glided silently across rivers, responding naturally to the ebb and flow of the water. Ripples mirrored the soft light, faintly illuminating faces, reflecting calm, and carrying whispers of reflection. Even small movements of the oar or gentle shifts of the boat contributed to the rhythm of understanding, patience, and serene awareness. Sharon did not hurry. Time in the underworld moved gently, each crossing lasting exactly as long as it needed. Souls were encouraged to notice the details, the shimmer of water, the sway of branches along the banks, the faint hum of the river beneath. Every subtle observation contributed to reflection, insight, and calm awareness. The Greeks imagined that crossing with Charon also symbolized transition. One step aboard marked the movement from reflection to deeper insight. One gentle ripple signified the acknowledgement of virtue, sorrow, or memory. Even silence, punctuated only by soft water and steady or conveyed lessons about patience, timing, and gentle understanding. Paths leading from the riverbanks guided souls naturally to their next destinations. Elysium for soft reward, Asphodel Meadows for neutral reflection, or Tartarus for deep contemplation. The Greeks imagined that every crossing reinforced continuity, ensuring that no journey felt abrupt or disconnected. Even small pauses during the trip carried meaning, teaching that reflection is enriched by stillness and observation. Charon's presence reassured wandering souls. They sensed that they were not alone, that guidance existed even in the vast, quiet expanses of the underworld. The Greeks imagined that this quiet companionship, patient and consistent, fostered courage, understanding, and calm awareness in every traveler. Even heroes found the crossing significant. Odysseus might reflect on the importance of guidance and support, understanding that even the most accomplished require subtle direction. Heracles could feel the connection between patience, effort, and observation, realizing that movement is strengthened when it is deliberate, steady, and respectful of the rhythm of the world. Poets, musicians, and ordinary souls found inspiration in the stillness, recognizing that quiet guidance enhances reflection, understanding, and serenity. The Greeks imagined that Charon's role extended beyond simple transport. Through the gentle crossings, souls absorbed lessons from rivers, groves, meadows, and shadows. They learn about integrity, patience, release, and subtle connection to the currents of eternity. Even the smallest ripple or sway offered insight into the art of observation, understanding, and gentle acceptance. As souls disembarked from Charon's boat, the Greeks imagined a sense of calm continuity accompanying them. Step by step, breath by breath, they move into meadows, groves, or shadowed corridors, carrying the rhythm of reflection, patience, and gentle awareness learned during the crossing. The ferryman's work ensured that the underworld flowed in harmonious, serene continuity, with every soul guided safely, softly, and meaningfully along its eternal currents. And so Charon continued his quiet duty, ferrying souls across reflective waters, connecting rivers and realms, and reminding all who cross that guidance, patience, and calm support are essential parts of every journey, endlessly and peacefully. In a quiet corner of the underworld, away from rivers and shadowed corridors, lay a serene and softly luminous space, the Grove of Dreams. The Greeks imagined this grove as a place where wandering souls could pause, reflect, and gently drift into peaceful visions of memory, hope, and calm imagination. Unlike other regions that emphasized reflection or virtue, the Grove of Dreams invited subtle creativity, serene contemplation, and the gentle unfolding of inner awareness. Soft, silvered light filtered through the branches of tall, graceful trees. Leaves shimmered as if kissed by a delicate breeze, even when the air was still. The forest floor was carpeted with moss and small flowers in muted shades of pale blue, lavender, and cream. Every step taken on its soft paths released faint, soothing scents, encouraging calm and gentle reflection. Souls wandered slowly through the grove, listening to the faint rustle of leaves, and the gentle hum of the land itself. The Greeks imagined that the Grove of Dreams offered visions to those who lingered, gentle echoes of past joys, faint memories of kindness, and soft imaginings of future possibilities. These visions were never startling or harsh. They moved with a rhythmic, calming pace, encouraging serenity and peaceful awareness. The trees themselves seemed aware of the souls moving among them. Branches bent slightly, forming natural archways, guiding wandering spirits along quiet paths. Flowers turned toward the soft light, and gentle streams meandered through the grove, carrying the faint sound of trickling water. Every element contributed to a sense of gentle harmony, reminding souls that even dreams are nurtured by calm observation and soft presence. The Greeks imagined that heroes visiting the grove found it particularly soothing. Odysseus might pause to imagine past adventures, reflecting on lessons learned and quietly envisioning paths not yet taken. Heracles could sense the gentle integration of effort, patience, and calm awareness, allowing reflection on labors completed with a sense of serenity. Even ordinary souls experienced a subtle renewal here, their spirits lifted by soft, flowing energy and tranquil imagery. Streams within the grove carried faint reflections of other parts of the underworld. A ripple might mirror the shimmer of Lethe, reminding souls of gentle release. Another might echo Poseidon's hum, acknowledging subtle sorrow and reflection. In this way, the Grove of Dreams maintained a harmonious connection with the broader underworld, blending creativity, memory, and calm reflection seamlessly. The Greeks imagined that time in the grove flowed differently. Moments could feel extended or condensed, but always in a soft, soothing rhythm. Souls were encouraged to move at their own pace, pausing, observing, or quietly resting as needed. No pressure existed to hurry or complete tasks. The Grove of Dreams was a sanctuary for calm imagination and subtle insight. Charon's gentle crossings, Hades' calm guidance, and the reflective currents of rivers were all subtly present here. The Grove of Dreams allowed souls to integrate these experiences, observing patterns and connections without urgency or stress. Even fleeting thoughts could be explored gently, creating a sense of continuity and awareness that deepened understanding and inner calm. The Greeks imagined that dreams in the grove were soft teachers. They revealed lessons in patience, empathy, and reflection without dramatic force. A vision of a past act of kindness might encourage gratitude. A faint memory of quiet courage could inspire subtle confidence. Even imagined futures offered calm insight, encouraging careful consideration and gentle hope. Heroes often lingered near small streams or under arching branches. Odysseus might observe reflections in the water, contemplating subtle consequences of past choices. Heracles could sit beneath a gently swaying tree, noticing how small actions ripple softly through time. Even poets, musicians, and ordinary souls found inspiration here, sensing the rhythm of subtle creativity flowing through the soft landscape. The grove was alive with quiet energy. Branches bent as if listening, streams glimmered with gentle purpose, and flowers swayed softly in tune with unseen currents. Souls moving slowly absorbed this rhythm, feeling connection to both the underworld and the deeper currents of their own inner experience. The Greeks imagined that even simple attention to these details nurtured reflection, calm awareness, and gentle insight. The Grove of Dreams also encouraged integration of emotion, memory, and gentle contemplation. Souls could rest, reflect, or wander, moving through soft light and quiet paths while absorbing lessons from rivers, meadows, and shadowed corridors. Even subtle attention to the scent of moss, the shimmer of leaves, or the quiet hum of water contributed to calm understanding. As travelers emerged from the grove, they carried with them a sense of renewal, gentle awareness, and soft insight. Paths led naturally toward Elysium, asphodel meadows, or hidden alcoves, continuing the rhythm of the underworld with gentle continuity. Step by step, breath by breath, every soul moved in harmony with soft currents, subtle reflections, and the serene pace of the realm. Stretching quietly across a wide expanse of the underworld lay the fields of asphodel, a gentle landscape imagined by the Greeks as a place of soft reflection, calm neutrality, and serene presence. Unlike Elysium, which shone with reward, or Tartarus, which delved into deep contemplation, asphodel offered a space where ordinary souls could exist peacefully, free from fear, urgency, or dramatic trials. The fields were quiet, yet alive with subtle beauty, offering a gentle rhythm to wandering spirits seeking calm understanding. The terrain of Asphodel was imagined as a soft, rolling landscape, carpeted with pale gray and silvery flowers that swayed in a slow, deliberate rhythm. Light filtered softly from the unseen skies above, creating a gentle shimmer across the fields. A faint breeze whispered through the blooms, carrying subtle scents of earth, moss, and distant rivers, adding to the overall tranquility. Every movement, sound, and scent invited calm observation and soft reflection, encouraging souls to slow their pace and breathe gently. Souls wandering the fields often found themselves moving naturally along winding paths, lined with delicate trees and small stone markers. These paths were not meant to direct forcefully, but to encourage quiet contemplation, letting each traveler discover insights at their own rhythm. Even heroes paused here, resting and reflecting on journeys past, decisions made, and the gentle unfolding of experience. Odysseus, for instance, might walk slowly among the flowers, recalling subtle lessons learned during his travels. Heracles could sit beneath a tree, feeling the soft rhythm of the fields and allowing the calm surroundings to integrate experiences of effort, patience, and quiet courage. Ordinary souls discovered gentle reassurance here, that every life, no matter how humble, contributes to the rhythm and balance of the underworld. The Greeks imagined that the fields of Asphodel were interconnected with rivers, groves, and meadows nearby. Tributaries from Lethe, Cocytus, and Styx carried subtle currents into the fields, ensuring that memory, reflection, and soft insight flowed naturally into every corner. Even the faintest ripple or whisper of water reinforced calm understanding and the gentle integration of experience. The fields were home to small, subtle creatures imagined to embody serenity, soft-winged birds, gentle insects, and tiny, luminous spirits that moved quietly among the flowers. Their presence added life and rhythm, reminding wandering souls that even stillness holds movement, and that calm awareness can exist alongside gentle activity. Every observation of these small details fostered mindfulness and appreciation for subtle beauty. The Greeks imagined that Asphodel was particularly valuable for neutral reflection. Souls who had lived ordinary, quiet lives, or whose deeds were neither extraordinary nor notorious, could rest here without distraction. The fields encouraged acknowledgement of existence itself, teaching that calm presence, patience, and reflection are as meaningful as heroic acts or dramatic events. Heroes and ordinary souls alike found Asphodel restorative. Odysseus might notice how the flowers shifted in gentle unison, feeling a sense of connection to the slow, steady rhythm of life. Heracles could absorb the calming presence of the fields, recognizing that even strength and action benefit from reflection and serene awareness. Even the quietest soul felt valued, understood, and integrated into the larger flow of the underworld. The Greeks imagined subtle currents of air and water passing through the fields, soft but constant. A breeze might carry faint echoes of distant rivers, while ripples and small pools mirrored lessons from Lethe or Styx. These gentle connections ensure that every soul moving through Asphodel remained harmonized with the broader underworld, reinforcing calm continuity and peaceful integration. Paths through the fields often led to other regions, toward Elysium for soft reward, toward Tartarus for deeper contemplation, or toward groves and rivers for reflection and imagination. Souls moved naturally along these routes, absorbing the rhythm and subtle lessons of each transition without urgency or fear. Even pauses, small rests, or quiet observation contributed meaningfully to the journey. The Greeks imagined that light, air, and sound in Asphodel were deliberately soothing. Soft rustling of leaves, distant murmurs of rivers, and subtle shimmer of flowers encouraged calm awareness. Even the smallest sensory details were woven into the experience, teaching patience, reflection, and gentle observation. Each step became part of a continuous meditation, blending reflection, experience, and serene understanding. The fields also encouraged introspection without pressure. Souls could contemplate memory, virtue, and subtle patterns of life at their own pace. Even fleeting thoughts or soft observations were acknowledged as meaningful, reinforcing the gentle, uninterrupted flow of the underworld's rhythm. As travelers exited the fields of Asphodel, they carried with them a quiet sense of continuity, calm reflection, and subtle understanding. Paths led naturally to other regions, rivers, or groves, maintaining the seamless rhythm of the underworld. Step by step, breath by breath, Every soul integrated lessons of patience, awareness, and gentle presence, moving forward with soft insight and serene understanding. And so, the fields of asphodel remained a space of quiet reflection, calm neutrality, and gentle presence. Through soft light, slow movement, and subtle harmony with rivers, groves, and shadowed corridors, the Greeks imagined that every wandering soul, heroic or ordinary, could rest, reflect, and absorb the serene rhythm of the underworld endlessly and peacefully. Beyond the quiet neutrality of the fields of asphodel lay a place of soft light, calm beauty, and gentle serenity, Elysium, the land of gentle reward. The Greeks imagined Elysium as a realm where souls who had lived with virtue, courage, or quiet wisdom could rest peacefully, surrounded by tranquil landscapes and soft, welcoming radiance. Unlike the deep shadows of Tartarus or the neutral meadows of asphodel, Elysium glowed with subtle warmth, inviting wandering souls to pause, reflect, and bask in quiet acknowledgement of their lives. The landscape was soft, harmonious, and endlessly varied. Rolling hills were dotted with luminous flowers, gentle streams meandered through meadows, and small groves offered shaded resting places. Light filtered softly from unseen sources, illuminating the land in gentle gold, silver, and pale lavender. The Greeks imagined that every visual, auditory, and sensory element contributed to calm reflection and serene presence. Souls wandered slowly along the meadows and streams, absorbing the harmony of the place. Even the smallest details, the shimmer of petals, the gentle rustle of leaves, or the ripple of water over smooth stones, carried meaning, reminding visitors of the interconnected rhythm of life, virtue, and gentle awareness. The Greeks imagined that Elysium allowed heroes and ordinary souls alike to pause, rest, and appreciate the quiet reward of existence itself. Heroes found particular solace in Elysium. Odysseus might sit beside a softly flowing river, reflecting on courage, wisdom, and choices made with integrity. Heracles could rest beneath a gently swaying tree, feeling the calm integration of his labors, patience, and quiet strength. Even ordinary souls, who may have led unremarkable lives, discovered comfort and gentle acknowledgement in the peaceful rhythms of the land. The Greeks imagined subtle currents of sound and movement flowing throughout Elysium. Soft breezes carried the hum of distant streams and whispered through flowers and groves. Birds with muted plumage glided silently, adding harmony to the stillness. Every gentle element reinforced calm reflection and the integration of experience, teaching that reward is often quiet, subtle, and deeply serene. Paths through Elysium flowed naturally toward rivers, groves, or the edges of asphodel, maintaining gentle continuity with the rest of the underworld. Souls moved freely, pausing, resting, or observing as desired. There was no pressure to hurry, every step aligned with the serene rhythm of the land, allowing insight, reflection, and gentle renewal to unfold naturally. The Greeks imagined that even the smallest acts of attention in Elysium carried significance. Watching a flower open in soft sunlight could encourage awareness of patience. Listening to the gentle flow of a stream might foster insight into calm persistence. Simply noticing a soft breeze or quiet hum of life reinforced subtle lessons in presence, gratitude, and peaceful understanding. Elysium also offered places for quiet companionship. Souls might wander together, share wordless acknowledgement, or simply rest in parallel, absorbing the gentle harmony of the surroundings. Even heroes who had spent lifetimes apart from others could find resonance here, understanding that the calm acknowledgement of virtue and quiet effort is as meaningful as dramatic feats. The Greeks imagined that light in Elysium was ever-changing yet never harsh. Shimmering patterns across water, gentle glimmers through leaves, and soft reflections on petals created a subtle symphony of visual calm. Souls moved in step with this rhythm, their thoughts, breath, and awareness harmonizing with the gentle pulses of the land. Even the most restless spirit could learn serenity here, carried by the slow, rhythmic flow of observation and reflection. In Elysium, heroes and ordinary souls alike could reflect on past actions without fear or regret. Memories, both bright and quiet, were acknowledged gently, absorbed into the soft rhythm of the landscape. Even difficult experiences, once integrated, became part of the gentle flow, teaching calm resilience, understanding, and subtle awareness. The Greeks imagined that time in Elysium moved softly, neither pressing nor static. Moments expanded or contracted naturally, allowing reflection and calm understanding to unfold at the pace of the soul. Each pause, breath, and step contributed to integration, subtle insight, and a sense of continuity within the broader underworld. As travelers eventually moved on from Elysium, they carried with them calm, gentle awareness and subtle understanding of their experiences. Paths led naturally toward groves, rivers, or fields, maintaining seamless continuity with the serene rhythms of the underworld. Step by step, ripple by ripple, every soul integrated lessons of patience, virtue, reflection, and gentle reward into the unfolding journey. Flowing softly through the underworld was a river of gentle reflection, known to the Greeks as Lethe. Its waters were not dark or threatening, but calm and soothing, offering subtle lessons in memory, release, and quiet understanding. Souls approached Lethe with care, feeling the soft currents wash over them, encouraging serenity and thoughtful reflection. The river's very presence reminded all who wandered that remembering and releasing are intertwined, flowing together like the gentle rhythm of water over smooth stones. The banks of Lethe were lined with soft moss, delicate flowers, and leaning trees that created shaded paths for wandering souls. Light filtered gently through the branches, casting pale, shifting patterns on the water. The Greeks imagined that every ripple, whisper of wind, and hum of the surrounding grove contributed to a calm, meditative experience. Even heroes paused here, finding subtle insight in the quiet reflections the river inspired. Souls who lingered at Lethe could contemplate memories without fear or anxiety. Past joys could be revisited softly, offering gentle warmth and calm satisfaction. Moments of sorrow, missteps, or regrets were absorbed with care, not as punishment but as opportunities to understand, integrate, and release. This delicate rhythm allowed wandering spirits to move forward with clarity, peace, and serenity. Odysseus might pause along Lethe's banks, recalling both adventures and quiet moments of kindness. Heracles could reflect on efforts made, patience exercised, and lessons learned during labors, letting the water carry away lingering tension. Even ordinary souls found comfort, understanding that memory and reflection can coexist peacefully with calm release and gentle acceptance. The Greeks imagined that Lethe was connected subtly to other rivers and regions of the underworld. Its currents flowed softly toward Elysium, Asphodel, and even the tributaries of Styx and Cocytus. This gentle connectivity reinforced the natural rhythm of the realm, allowing each soul to integrate lessons, reflections, and insights as they continued their quiet journey. Soft sensory details enhanced the serene experience along Lethe. The shimmer of sunlight on water, the gentle rustle of leaves, the faint scent of moss and flowers, all encouraged calm observation and mindfulness. Even small motions of the water, like ripples around a stone, could inspire awareness, patience, and gentle understanding. The Greeks imagined that Lethe also helped souls release unnecessary burdens. Memories of fear, regret, or tension were acknowledged and allowed to drift away with the water, leaving the spirit lighter, calmer, and more attentive. This process was never rushed. Every reflection, every pause, and every breath occurred at a measured, serene pace. The river guided all who approached toward equilibrium, gentle awareness, and soft clarity. Heroes often engaged with Lethe in quiet contemplation. Odysseus might follow a ripple downstream, noticing how memory and release flowed together seamlessly. Heracles could sit by the river, listening to its gentle murmur, recognizing that strength is enriched by reflection and calm acceptance of experience. Even the smallest gestures, watching a leaf drift, hearing a bird call, contributed to subtle insight and integration of lessons learned. Souls wandering along Lethe learned that the act of remembering need not be burdensome. Each reflection could be absorbed gently, allowing past experiences to enhance wisdom and awareness rather than create worry or tension. The Greeks imagined that Lethe's waters carried subtle encouragement, patience, and a sense of continuity, guiding all travelers through calm understanding and serene rhythm. The river's influence extended even to groves, meadows, and tributaries nearby. Every element of the underworld was harmonized by its presence, reinforcing calm observation, reflection, and the gentle integration of memory into ongoing experience. Souls moved naturally through these spaces, carrying insight from Lethe into the broader rhythm of their journey. Charon's crossings, Hades' palace, the field of Asphodel, and Elysium all connected in subtle ways to Lethe. The Greeks imagined that every step, pause and observation along its banks contributed to a deeper sense of balance, reflection, and serene understanding. Even fleeting thoughts or soft observations were integrated into the continuous flow of the underworld, reinforcing its gentle and unhurried rhythm. As travelers eventually departed from Lethe's shores, they carried with them calm clarity, soft awareness, and subtle insight. Step by step, breath by breath, every soul moved along rivers, through groves, or across meadows, guided by the serene lessons of memory, release, and reflection. The Greeks imagined that Lethe's quiet influence endured with every journey, ensuring that understanding, patience, and gentle wisdom flowed endlessly through the underworld. As the journey through the Greek underworld neared its quiet conclusion, wandering souls found themselves moving toward a space of calm reflection, gentle integration, and serene understanding. The rivers, groves, fields, and palaces, all places explored in soft, deliberate rhythm, now converged in the mind and spirit of the traveler, forming a harmonious tapestry of experience, insight, and quiet awareness. The Greeks imagined that the return from the depths of the underworld was not a hurried escape but a gentle, reflective emergence. Souls moved slowly along familiar rivers, Styx, Lethe, and Cocytus, feeling the soft guidance of Charon's boat, the serene authority of Hades' palace, and the comforting rhythm of groves and meadows. Every step, every ripple, and every breath reinforced the sense of calm integration, carrying lessons, insights, and gentle understanding forward. Along the way, the lessons of the underworld unfolded with quiet clarity. The fields of asphodel reminded each soul that neutrality and calm reflection have their own beauty. Elysium offered gentle acknowledgement of virtue, patience, and quiet effort. Lethe encouraged the peaceful release of lingering memories, tensions, and worries. Even Tartarus, with its deep contemplative spaces, provided subtle insight into endurance, reflection, and the importance of measured thought. Heroes paused along the familiar pathways. Odysseus reflected on the intertwined lessons of courage, patience, and careful observation. Heracles absorbed the integration of effort, reflection, and gentle wisdom, understanding that strength is enriched by awareness and serenity. Ordinary souls, too, felt the steady rhythm of integration, noticing that even the quietest lives hold significance, connection, and purpose. The Greeks imagined that every sensory detail contributed to this final reflection. The shimmer of water on rivers, the soft rustle of leaves in groves, the gentle scent of moss and flowers, and the muted light of hidden skies all worked together to foster calm awareness. Even the faintest echoes of movement or sound encouraged mindfulness, patience, and subtle understanding. As souls continued, the underworld's quiet teachings coalesced. Every ripple of Styx, every breeze along asphodel, and every shimmer of Elysium became part of a unified pattern, guiding the traveler toward completion, calm integration, and peaceful awareness. The Greeks imagined that by honoring these subtle lessons, souls learned to carry serenity, reflection, and gentle wisdom forward, beyond the realm itself. The journey also emphasized the value of observation and presence. Souls learned that even the smallest details, the sway of a branch, a ripple of water, or a shimmer of light, could reveal meaningful insight. Quiet awareness became a guiding principle, demonstrating that life, memory, virtue, and reflection are all intertwined in a delicate, gentle rhythm. The Greeks imagined that the underworld was not only a place of endings, but also a place of preparation. By observing, reflecting, and releasing, souls were equipped to move forward with clarity, calm, and harmonious awareness. Every experience along the rivers, groves, fields, and palaces contributed to this gentle preparation, ensuring that each journey concluded with subtle integration rather than abrupt closure. As travelers emerged toward the edges of the realm, they carried a profound sense of continuity. Every lesson absorbed, the integrity of Styx, the reflection of Lethe, the calm neutrality of asphodel, the gentle reward of Elysium, flowed seamlessly into consciousness. Even small insights from the Grove of Dreams or the quiet presence of Charon's guidance were retained, forming a soft, enduring tapestry of understanding. The Greeks imagined that reflection continued beyond the underworld. Breath by breath, step by step, each soul integrated what had been learned, feeling the rhythm of calm, observation, and gentle awareness in every action. Even ordinary moments in daily life could echo these teachings, reinforcing patience, virtue, and serene understanding. Heroes, too, carried subtle strength from their journey. Odysseus understood that wisdom grows through reflection and quiet observation. Heracles realized that courage is best balanced with patience, awareness, and careful thought. The Greeks believed that these lessons, absorbed calmly in the underworld, were available to all who moved forward with gentle presence, mindful breath, and soft attention. The final paths led through gentle groves and along familiar rivers. Soft light shimmered across petals, leaves, and water, reflecting the harmonious rhythm of experience. Souls moved without hurry, without fear, and without urgency, understanding that the journey itself, its subtle lessons, reflections, and gentle rhythms, was as meaningful as any destination. The Greeks imagined that the journey's end was a quiet awakening. Souls, having absorbed the full spectrum of the underworld's lessons, emerged with calm clarity, soft awareness, and serene understanding. Memories were integrated, virtues honored, and insights retained, forming a gentle reservoir of wisdom that could accompany them through all future experiences. And so the Greek underworld, with its rivers, groves, fields, palaces, and subtle energies, concluded its soft narrative. Through gentle observation, reflection, and integration, every soul, heroic or ordinary, found understanding, calm, and peace. Step by step, ripple by ripple, breath by breath, the journey ended not with abruptness but with continuity, serenity, and quiet illumination. The Greeks imagined that even after leaving the realm, the lessons lingered. Every ripple of water, rustle of leaves, shimmer of light, and soft echo of memory could be recalled gently, inviting calm reflection and subtle insight. The underworld, though mysterious and vast, became a companion, guiding travelers toward patience, virtue, and enduring serenity. And so, the story of the Greek underworld reached its tranquil conclusion. Through rivers, groves, meadows, palaces, and reflective spaces, the journey offered soft insight, gentle wisdom, and peaceful understanding. Every soul moved forward, carrying the serene rhythm of experience, observation, and reflection, endlessly, softly, and peacefully.